We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny final expense insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance. Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Racetrack coffee is bean to cup. The fresh ground taste is gonna pick you up. Different choices with lots of flavor.
Yeah, that tracks. Customize your blend, creamers, and toppings to make your coffee a guaranteed hit.
You're making your cup the way you know it should. Racetrack coffee, it's crazy good.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. You know, August is National Wellness Month, and we want to celebrate that by getting as many of you guys over to Life Imaging FLA for their free hard scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And the numbers don't lie, man. In 30 to 40% of heart attacks, the very first symptom is sudden death. These guys at Life Imaging FLA are all about proactive prevention. And I want to encourage each one of you to explore their full body cancer screening as well. When you consider that 40% of adults will get cancer at some point in their life, early detection can save your life. Get that ultimate peace of mind with proactive screening. And remember, there are no dyes or injections. You don't have to take your clothes off. The entire process takes only 10 minutes. Guys, take a few minutes. Do what I did. Do what my wife did. Do what our in-laws did. Get with Life Imaging FLA right now and get your free heart scan. And it's easy to make your appointment. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Just say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that appointment today. It could change your life forever. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Here's how to avoid a top mistake in divorce. Text messages and social media posts can wind up in front of a judge. Act accordingly. Don't post like a fool. Divorce? Trenley Kramer Law. TK Law. OneFirmForLife.com.
Do you need your contractor's license? In 4 short weekends with Camtech School of Construction, you'll be able to ace the state exam. Get legal, get licensed, get Camtech. Join us for a free info seminar this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Universal. 1-800-875-PASS.
Hey, it's Sabrina from the News Junkie, and I'll be performing at the Just Call Mo Comedy Jam on September 5th at the Orlando Funny Bone. The show is a benefit for the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, and tickets are just $20. Get them at mocomedyjam.com.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Lots to get to today. From Unmute the Mics to a new startup wants to sell the sun at night, and the drama with a wildly popular new game, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday.
Share that show.
Share that show. Share that show.
Means all you have to do is share the show as they are chanting. Just get it done. Go to thenewsjunkie.com/share, thenewsjunkie.com/share. Hit the like button over on the live stream. Do whatever you got to do to just, I don't know, spread the word about the show. It's what keeps things humming around here, and we greatly appreciate that on all days, even a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Pretty good. Miss you in your physical face over here.
Yeah,
it was nice
you don't want to look at that.
No, of course. We get to chat a little bit and something like that. Now Russ is curious why I'm sending him peace signs. And
he's looking directly at him. I'm not in that studio today. I'm back over here. And
it's brighter over there.
It's brighter, and you know what's great about this? Let me show you something. Here's what's great.
Shoes off. I knew it.
Yeah.
How badly did you want to take your shoes off yesterday?
Pants on, there's like too many rules back at that place. There's a boss in town and all of that hubbub. But here we are, and people asking about Dark Cloud stuff. Right now, we're cruising. We are cruising, all right? I've long thought this show to be fairly bulletproof. We got some real talent going on here, I think. And overall, it looks like we may have escaped a darker fate. But you're not going to know. Like, honestly, if we get to this time next month, it'll go Dark Cloud gone. But now we just wait to see if the rumor is true, if there's anything behind it.
It went from, hurricane to tropical storm.
Definitely.
And
maybe even we might be in a tropical depression right now.
Yeah.
All I know is we're very depressed.
Definitely
right?
the latter, for sure.
That's what we're facing right now. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Oasis, the rock band,
right.
reuniting for their first tour in 15 years, friends. They were hinting at it yesterday. We said, I don't know, is it really going to happen?
Unibrows unite.
Yes, all them unibrowns all on one stage. And it's going down in Europe and I think Wales, England, Scotland, and Ireland.
Was it like Wembley or something like
Wembley
that?
Stadium's a big one. That's a big one that they play.
It's just so interesting to me. Why? What
money.
After? I mean, definitely for sure, but money has always been looming. It's kind of like our dark cloud, but just green cloud full of money. And it has always been the case for decades now that they would never, ever, ever do it. So who convinced who?
Don't you think with the amount of technology and the amount of resources that any tour could have, and you look at tours like a Taylor Swift tour where they just have like an amount of trucks and buses in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, like just to put the show on, that you could create a tour, an Oasis tour, in which the Gallagher brothers never have to be in the same room until they set on stage.
Guns N' Roses do that?
You can put them on opposite sides of the stage, too. And then they never even have to converse or anything. Just go out there, play a little rock and roll, and make your money. They did this whole big video. Let's see.
Me and him are like telepathic, you know what I mean? I know my brother better than anybody else. And both come together to have greatness.
They really went with the Beatles look, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, full on. They are big. Look at this crowd that they're playing to. Ugh.
All I knew was Wonderwall growing up.
Really? That's all you know? You didn't know Champagne Supernova?
I did, but it was like the big song in high school for me was Wonderwall. I didn't realize
a big one.
how big they were. I only knew about them as I became an adult and realized that they fought all the time. And then, when we started the show, I found out that you fought one of them.
Yes, that's true.
Wonderwall was like one of the go-to crowd requests at a bar, and I went years going, I'm not going to play Wonder. Everybody plays Wonderwall. Ask the guy tomorrow; he'll play Wonderwall. And then I kind of broke myself out of it and was like, the person likes the song. He might tip us for it,
Wait, do you think it's like our generation's Freebird?
Is it?
There's a handful of songs that go through that status of being like the go-to ask for. Wonderwall, Freebird was obviously there. Sweet Home Alabama,
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball was
that's a classic.
That was a niche request, but fulfilled nonetheless.
I was hoping you had the clip on deck. But I guess
I don't know if I have that anymore. But for those of you who are new to the show, Sealand used to perform around all the time. He'd play, and listeners and everybody would go out and just people hanging out, enjoying music. And Sealand started playing Wrecking Ball, and I think I recorded it, and then we played it back on the show.
No, you paid me to play it, and then so you could record it and play it back on the show.
And it was so good.
The good old days.
I wasn't making fun of him because it was bad. It was good. It was a fun ass time, and I think that song though. Am I wrong on this? Is that one of those songs where you're like, gotta clear the pipes out a little bit, gotta make sure I'm right.
Sometimes
or you start lower, like the national anthem.
Yeah, but the national anthem, most people start a cappella, and so you don't like. It's not like you bring a pitch pipe with you and you're like, ooh, and you're like, all right, this is the note I'm going to start with. With Wrecking Ball, you at least have to prepare enough that you're playing it in a low enough key that when that chorus hits, when that hook hits you, and like. It hits you like a wrecking ball.
It does.
It
really does.
Weird full circle thing there.
Yeah.
So they're back. First tour in 15 years.
I'm sorry. Is that a
T-Rex? Yep. You don't know any of these songs? Do you know the somebody put I Said Maybe. Do you know that song?
Yeah, it's Wonderwall.
No, that's Wonderwall. That's Wonderwall. Okay, so you know that one. Do you know?
I know Champagne Supernova.
That one was really big. It would be hard. What about Don't Look Back in Anger?
That's a good
Maybe
one.
if I heard it.
You would know it if you heard it. I almost guarantee you.
Sally can wait.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would love to go see Oasis.
It's one of those things where you couldn't have escaped some of these songs. There's some songs that are past both of you guys, and I noticed this, and I lock into where you guys are at with music based on Today I Learned at the end of the show. Because when I play songs like certain rock eras, you guys will not have a guess at all, and I'll go, "Oh, okay, this was just a little bit."
Sometimes you play very obscure songs from.
No. To me, they're not obscure at all. Like every time I play Silverchair. Both of you are like,
I just don't have a relationship with Silverchair.
And neither one of you do. But Silverchair, when I was 13, or maybe a little older, maybe 16, 17 years old, they were the ever-present rock band. They were absolutely everywhere out there. As a matter of fact, if there was a band that I would like to go see on tour, if they could reunite, get back together, and perform, it would probably be Silverchair. It would probably be that.
When I went to my high school graduation, we had a very large graduating class, and I did not know the person sitting next to me. I knew the person on the other side, but I didn't know one of the people sitting directly next to me. And we had been to 4 years of high school together. to me, that's Silverchair. Like, I know so many of these people and am very familiar with a lot of them, and they're familiar with me. But this person right here, you are my Silverchair. We just never really cross paths in that way.
But good to see you.
They're going to be doing this reunion tour, and we talked yesterday about Linkin Park is teasing something like they might return, and we discussed how that could be difficult given how tied people were. Yeah, he's dead, and his vocals were very particular sounding, and then we went into Sublime and how they've come back with Bradley's son now in the band. And Jacob? I was thinking, I was thinking yesterday after the show, I was like, it would be the most impossible band to reboot right now. Kind of, but no. This one would be harder. Nirvana.
Oh, yeah.
If Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic and whoever else, Pat Smear, I don't know, all came together and
Pat Smear?
Pat Smear. Wherever, like, hey, we're going to come back together. We're going to reboot Nirvana. And I got this other guy. He sounds just like Kurt Cobain. People would not have that.
Oh, but they'd still show up. They
you think so?
Would, yes.
Yeah, I think people would rebel. People would be like, you can't do this to Kurt Cobain's memory.
Say that to Dave Grohl's face.
I don't think Dave Grohl would ever do it, honestly. No. I really couldn't see him doing it. He moved past Nirvana, went to the Foo Fighters, has been immensely successful with the Foo Fighters. I don't know that he would ever want to go back to that.
But we're doing a hypothetical world. Let's say he does.
He did.
And,
he did.
And he's got the other dudes.
Would you go?
I absolutely would go. I mean, let's see how much tickets are. But if he were to do this, and he gets the other guys involved, and they get a singer who sounds just like it, I mean, how of course people would do it because everyone complains about everything, but it would still be massively popular. And then two, like, who are you to say as fans that the original band members can't go and do this tour if they wanted to? Like, it's their music as well.
Of course it is. And if they have the rights, they have the right to go and perform as whatever band they want. I just think of all the bands that I can think of, Nirvana very much was Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Very much like it was him, his writing style, his singing style, his guitar playing style.
I wonder if they would have been able to more successfully do that if they had tried much sooner to Cobain's death. Like right now, I think Nirvana is so immortalized because of the amount of time that's gone by that it would be less successful or at least much more contested in the public as far as how popular it would be or how successful it would be to find a singer that could do all that. But the same part of me wonders, why can Nirvana not do that, but Queen with Adam Lambert is successful?
Or Journey to throw more fuel on the fire. I don't know how successful they've been, but like they picked up that Asian dude and he just started singing Don't Stop Believin', you know what I mean? And it seemed like that worked. I don't know, maybe it didn't.
But like Stone Temple Pilots, they kind of fizzled for a while after Scott Weiland's death. And then, weirdly enough, Chester Bennington joined the band.
Boy, a real dark cloud over that band.
Yeah.
A real significant dark cloud.
Like, Sean, we want you to be the singer for Stone Temple. No.
Not going to do that. All right, quick break. When we come back, we've got so much to talk about today. We got to talk about the big debate over the debate that's happening right now.
Debate.
And now we're hearing that Kamala Harris may want to go with the unmuted mics, Wild Wild West style. And I want to ask the question, is that something that makes a debate better? What does better even mean? And how is this going to all shake out? Plus, when we come back, the drama with a wildly popular new game. What's happening? This game is so big, people got off work when it was released. We'll give you all the details about that and so much more coming up next in the News Junkie.
They won't tell you this, but your pets are pretty lonely when you leave. No worries. We'll keep them company. Just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Watch out for an accident on I-95 southbound at I-4. The left lane is blocked there. Authorities are still working on that accident on Highway 1792 northbound between Maitland Boulevard and O'Brien Road. There's an accident on Aloma Avenue westbound at Pine Avenue causing commotion, and the off-ramp from I-4 eastbound to Amelia Street that is partially blocked due to an accident as well. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power & Light.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm an FPL customer. I appreciate that at FPL, they are always teaching me how power works and how you can save money.
Find more ways to save energy and money at FPL.com/ways to save. FPL, working for you every single day.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Another insurance story from
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny Final Expense Insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Zero Foxtrot isn't just a brand. It's a way of life. Founded and operated by veterans, Zero Foxtrot's unique apparel and gear echoes the grit of the warrior culture. Zero Foxtrot dedicates itself to producing content, honoring the sacrifices of forgotten heroes of the past, and connecting history to the present. Embark on a journey with Zero Foxtrot today at zerofoxtrot.com. It's not merely our products. It's about the ethos that we embody. Rugged, resilient, and timeless.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives southern weather, and our Energy Star windows and doors are designed to keep the heat out and the cool air in. Get New South proud.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all New South products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Between the lines, far beyond legal and ethical limits, and under the surface,
too dangerous or disruptive to the existing status quo.
Hosts Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know.
We've officially entered the age of biohacking.
History is riddled with unexplained events.
Is somebody messing with us?
Now it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
The bigger question might be, what actually makes a debate good? Like, what is it that makes a debate good? I know C-Lane has an answer, and C-Lane's answer is probably just fireworks and
chaos.
Some chaos, and that I'm all down for. Like, I like that too. I like a little bit of drama. I want some fighting and stuff. But does that actually make for a better debate? What does that word even mean in that sentence? Better, like, sure. Better should mean that when you watch the debate between two people, you walk away going, I know where this person stands, and I know where this person stands on the most important issues to me. And now, as a result of that, I can make an educated vote for the candidate that I'm most in line with politically. I think maybe that would be the best outcome.
That makes sense. And we've had very great debates in our times, even prior. And then we've had debates where it was so chaotic that you can't hear what anyone's saying. And even the moderator's like, all right, boys, chill out here.
We've had debates where it turns into a Real Housewives reunion. Or
even they control the mics better, man.
Where it's rah. Still ain't got nothing. In Turkey, if you ever see the Turkish parliament, I know that sounds boring. I understand that it does. But in the Turkish parliament, when they start disagreeing, everybody just starts fighting each other. They just run out. It's like Sparta or something. Like they all just clash into each other and fists are flying. And it's a real mess over there. So at least we haven't descended into that yet. But you got to understand that there's a good portion of people who want entertainment out of these debates that it doesn't really matter what happens. They're already very rooted in. Like your uncle, you know who your uncle's going to vote for. You know what I mean? You're locked in. Like nothing's going to change
depends
your
on which uncle for me, but yes, I do.
That one uncle is like Kamala Harris. That guy, you know who that guy's going to vote for. And you probably got like a librarian niece or something who is wearing a Kamala sticker, and you go, I know who she's going to vote for. There won't be a lot of moving around there. But maybe there are some people in the middle who go, I want to actually get something from these debates. And then to those people, I ask the question, if they do the thing where they mute the mics, is that better? Or is it better if they just keep it freewheeling and everybody can talk whenever and they end up talking over each other a little bit?
Was the last one with Biden and Trump the first time they've done this mute mic muting?
To a certain extent. They've had things where they'll go, you got to wait your turn or we're going to mute your mic, like a threat to mute the person's mic. But I think generally they kind of left them open. Or when there was a big panel, say there was 7 candidates up there, they would say, we're going to mute the mics of the people who are not speaking so that there's not 7 people talking at once. But to have 2 candidates whittled down to 2 and then you're muting their microphones, I don't know that that's ever been done before. And it was still kind of explosive. Like we still had a pretty shocking result, the debate. It wasn't the microphones being muted. It was just Joe Biden melting down into old man river territory. That was the thing that kind of did it. But I don't know. I think I would defer to don't mute the mics. Let these people say all the things that are on their mind. And then maybe the moderators can do it if somebody keeps interrupting. The problem there being that whoever gets muted more will claim that their candidate was silenced in this. It's just sort of how that goes. And so now we don't even know, honestly, if this debate that's supposed to be on September 10th is going to go down because Trump has kind of said, I don't know, I'm going to be involved in this. ABC isn't fair to me. Hopefully they battle it out. Hopefully they're on the stage together and we can see what happens.
And you said Kamala's on the side of not muting the mics?
She now has been on the side of not muting the mic. She posted a video of Donald Trump talking about the debate with like chicken noises in the background. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, bok, 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 bok. You know, that kind of thing where you, damn it, I knew what I was risking there.
I wonder if she thinks that letting Trump be Trump will be beneficial to her in some form or fashion. Like, yeah, don't mute Donald Trump's mic. Let him say whatever he wants and talk over me and appear rude.
Yeah.
And somehow that means points for Kamala.
It could be. If he just appears mean and nasty and angry, yes. If he's being funny, I think he actually wins some points when he's funny, when he actually has a good jab or something.
I don't disagree.
You can't be doom and gloom all the time. That's one of the problems I think that they've had over there. It's like that intro that I did where Trump was speaking and he goes, the end of the world, the end of the country. That it's like, okay, that's kind of dark. Can we have like a little bit of positivity here? Can we swing things in a better direction? I think that works better, honestly. What do you think? Let us know. Should they mute the mics or unmute the mics? Throwing it out to you because your opinion is important around here. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. Video games. There are a lot of them out there. I've only played like 5. And one of them, embarrassingly, at a hotel in Orlando, Florida, when I was on vacation, was Dance Dance Revolution. And
nice.
That was a big hit at some point.
Not good for me. I was not meant to do that. My body, I don't think, was meant to do that.
Like it was arcade style, or someone brought the pads to the hotel room?
No, like they had a room in the hotel that was set up as an arcade.
Oh.
And you actually were on the machine doing the dance and jumping around. And these kind of games have been around for a very, very long time. At-home games have been popular also for a very long time. One of them out now in China is so big, even though you've never heard of it, I bet, that they gave people the day off in China to play this game. It's called Black Myth Wukong, and they say it's a visuals-forward adventure rooted in Chinese mythology that has shattered records since launching, but it's also been controversial. In the first 24 hours, it became the most played single-player game on Steam. If you don't know what Steam is, folks, it's where all the kids buy their video games these days. It's the second most played game on the platform overall. Its developer Game Science sold 10 million copies in 43 hours or 83 hours, excuse me,
All in
making one
China?
of the fastest games ever. I think a lot of it's in China, but more of it is spreading around. The game turned profitable on day
because you
one.
got the day off.
The game turned profitable on day one and made $450 million in the first 3 days. It's even weirder of a business to be involved in video game development than it is to be involved in the movies. If you know anything about movie development, they come up with an idea. Let's say C-Lane right now, because I got an idea for a movie. And C-Lane's movie idea is ready to be pitched.
Go on, pitch it, C-Lane.
He pitches it to somebody in Hollywood, and I'm sorry, he's preparing himself.
Right, I didn't realize that
Gotta
was.
get ready for my pitch, guys.
Honestly, that was very familiar. Different thing up the nose in a Hollywood pitch meeting. I think.
This is like an 80s Hollywood pitch meeting. He's snorting something right before he gives his pitch.
Okay. It was nose spray. I've been very stuffy, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Nose spray, folks. All right, nose spray. Okay. What's your pitch?
For my movie?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Imagine Jurassic Park.
Yeah?
But with cats.
I'm in.
Are they as big as the dinosaurs?
Some of them are.
I'm into it. Cat-Rassic Park. We need to work on that part. We'll figure that out. Jurassic Park is great. Excellent. Jurassic Park is the name of the movie. It's now going into production.
It's so focused on whether or not they can, they never stopped and thought about whether they should.
Jurassic Park is going into production. And you go to a bunch of meetings. They start doing this. They start investing tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars because it's going to be expensive to make these big CG cats. And everybody does table reads. And for years and years, this goes on. I remember being in Washington, D.C. And Courtney and I were walking around. And we saw outside of this bar we were at that they were filming something. We said, what are they filming here? He goes, oh, they've been filming the new Wonder Woman movie all week here. They've been here all week. And that was just at one location. It's like they've been around here for about 6 months filming this.
Damn.
It wasn't until 3 or 4 years later that movie actually made it to the theaters. So you invest all of this money. I'm getting to a point here. All of this money you invest.
You're running a tab, basically.
Yeah, you're running this huge tab, and then you put out the movie, and you hope that it becomes a hit, and hopefully you can make all that money back on your blockbuster movie. On a video game, they probably spent a whole bunch of money on this, and they made $450 million in 3 days.
Yeah, but if you
That
get a
is
country
huge.
to give everyone the day off, then I feel like that's a good push into the profit margin, is it not?
Well, that did happen, but it wasn't like the Chinese government goes, official day off. It was like the businesses saw people were so into this that they decided we can't make people come to work on this day. They're all going to fake sick or something. They said they're very mad, some people, a couple of people, I'm sure. IGN reported on sexism and toxic culture at Game Science in November. Then before the launch, the game's marketing team instructed live streamers to avoid mentioning feminist propaganda and fetishization. Boy, that's a hard word to say.
That's in the game?
Fetishization. And then all kinds of other things. I don't know why this is IGN. IGN is really dumb. They try to make everything political. It's just a game about monkeys. It's a game about monkeys, and people like it, and it made a lot of money.
To think IGN would just used to be the place that I would go to get game codes and to
I still go there
get
for that,
walkthroughs.
Oh, you know what I want to do now? Hang on. Let's see here.
What's
Let me
that?
all right, because now you got this stuck in my head, C-Lane.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, there's no way around this.
They're saying somebody already did something like
Aw,
it.
man.
No, did they?
Al Kitty.
A photo of Jurassic Park, but with cats. Let me see what I can get here. This will be our inspiration, if we can, for Jurassic
This is a photo
Park.
that I'm going to show at the board meeting.
What is that?
Okay.
Make them as large as
And scary.
dinosaurs, because they just made 3 cute-looking cats.
Bigger
That doesn't
teeth,
do much
too.
of anything. Yeah, they need to be a little frightening when you get out of your Jeep Wrangler. Now they just put a dinosaur in the picture with the cats. Back
Thanks
to
a
the
lot,
drawing
Grok.
board. Yeah, we got to work on that. I think we can make it better. We'll see what you got for us. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. You can send us all sorts of dispatches, by the way. It's not just audio dispatches that we play. We want to see you sometimes, so you can send us a video dispatch or photo dispatch if you want to show us what is in front of us. Let's go over to the Brown Pony, who's talking about muted mics. You could send one in just like this.
If we don't have muted mics for the last Biden-Trump debate, maybe we don't get that Biden moment, and we instead would have had Trump yelling over him.
True.
If we don't get that Biden moment, maybe we don't get everyone asking Biden to step down from the race and him getting replaced with Kamala.
That's a good point, actually.
So I feel like the muting of it had such an impact in the last one that I feel like it's necessary for this one. As entertaining as it would be to hear them yelling over each other, I think just this is such an important position of office, being the president. I feel like it needs to have muted mics instead of two people yelling at each other. I actually want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way. That's a good point. I don't know. You might be right. If they didn't mute the mics, and when Biden had the brain freeze, when he glitched McConnell, and he was up there, and the world kind of sees this and goes, ooh, that doesn't look great. Maybe you don't have the uproar. Maybe you don't have the press going, hey, we got a problem here. Let's try to do the drumbeat where we get this guy out of office. Yeah, you might be right. Sometimes you think that doing things like leaving all the mics open is going to cause more chaos, but controlling things a little bit can bring you the outcome that's more chaotic. That's kind of what happened here. So good insight, the Brown Pony. Appreciate that. We're waiting for you, your dispatch rolling in as we speak. And when we come back, I've got to tell you about a man in Indiana who wanted his wife gone for the most insane reason. Actually, the most repulsive reason, I think, now that I'm looking at this headline. He wanted his wife gone real bad. I'll tell you how he tried to get rid of her and what he was actually after. Unbelievable story, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. Every weekend this summer on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. For today, we'll top out at 92 degrees. Our winds coming in off of the Atlantic. That'll usher in a 40% chance for a couple of showers, maybe a clap of thunder this afternoon. Otherwise, a pretty typical and otherwise quiet summer day. As we head into this Labor Day weekend, we're going to see our rain chances ramping up to a likely category each afternoon. Out of the tropics, there's a tropical wave in the eastern Atlantic we're watching very carefully, but at this point, no direct threats. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Folks, there are a lot of businesses out there that will take advantage of you. They just want to separate you from your money. And they're not looking for long-term clients, people to work with over years, maybe even decades when they need help. They're just looking for some quick money. Then there are companies like Mills Air, fair, honest companies. And with HVAC companies, that's air conditioning companies, if you don't know, there's a lot of these companies that will try to take advantage of you. But Mills Air is in a category to themselves where they want to show you that they can give you an amazing service, and they're only going to fix what needs to be fixed. They're only going to be completely honest with you about what's wrong with your AC and the reason why it's not blowing as cold as it used to. And they even have, and this is one of my favorite things, a preventative maintenance program that can save you money and detect an upcoming breakdown. So you need to give them a call. Here's the phone number, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to Mills Air. Find them online at millsair.com.
Just announced during the no-pay Labor Day holiday at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. No payments till 2025 with your new Nissan purchase, plus a $500 Visa gift card. Ends Monday at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home with a lifetime warranty.
With purchase of a new Nissan, interest accrues from time of delivery. See dealer for details.
Hey, Katie. Hi. Let's embark on a performance calibration initiative synthesizing qualitative and quantitative metrics for this past fiscal year.
If Heineken Silver was corporate jargon, it would have all the info you need. None of the annoying gibberish.
What I was trying to say is, you crushed it last year, Katie. Lady, you are getting a big, fat bonus.
Heineken Silver, world-class light beer. Only 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. At SafeTouch Security, we recognize that times are tough. So right now, get a new SafeTouch system for $0 down with a free video doorbell. Plus, add an indoor camera for just $49. Limited time, call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
An epic live concert event is coming to Dr. Phillips Center in downtown Orlando. You've seen the movie, now experience it like you never have before. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse features a live orchestra, turntables, a scratch DJ, electronics, percussion, and more, all in front of a colossal HD screen. Don't miss Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse live in concert. One night only, September 7th. Get your family's tickets now at drphillipscenter.org. That's drphillipscenter.org.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Want to give your child a learning experience that's free, fun, and gets them ready for the future? The voluntary pre-kindergarten program is your answer. It's available at no cost to any 4-year-old child residing in the state of Florida. Visit our website at elcosceola.org. That's elcosceola.org.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Shipley Donuts, now open on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This is
show and a Share the Show Tuesday just like this. So please do tell a friend or hit the like button over on the stream if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. They don't have a like button over there, but just overall do something to share the show like you can over at thenewsjunkie.com/share. That's much appreciated. I know the feeling of being in a relationship and really wanting to get out of it. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
I know that feeling. I'm sure we all know that feeling. Sabrina Sealand, I'm sure you've had one relationship somewhere in your timeline where you're like, how do I exit stage left right now?
Did I exit properly? Absolutely not.
It's hard to do it right.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it right. Sealand, I'm sure you've been caught up in this at some point in time.
Yeah, there's definitely been some points where I'm like, why am I still
Our younger days.
trying?
Well, the first question is why? Like, why would you be so eager to get out of a relationship? And we all have our reasons. This guy in Indiana that finds himself in the news and on the show today, he had a really ridiculous and gross reason why he wanted to get away from his wife, wanted to get out of the marriage. The thing he was after is he wanted to marry her daughter, and couldn't do that while he was married to the daughter's mom. There's your reasoning. He wants to break up with mom so he can marry the daughter. That's what the transition he's looking for, this guy in Indiana.
This is kind of like, what's that director? Woody
Allen?
No.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen had some problems, but that was with some younger folks.
But that was his stepdaughter that he ended up marrying.
Sun Yi, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
Woody Allen was the wrong.
Yeah, an Indiana man who conspired to poison his wife's Coca-Cola with various drugs, kill her, and marry her daughter has been sentenced after entering a guilty plea.
Daughter down with the plan, or also
we're gonna find out.
No idea. Okay, cool.
Well, the guy's name is Alfred Ruff, R-U-F, and Alfred Ruff, 71 years old.
All right, good plan.
And he entered a guilty plea, and they said the wife was taken to the hospital for a blood and urine screening, and the doctors found something very alarming. And so they said, we got to find out who's doing this. And they took the husband in for questioning at the sheriff's department. And they said, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can, will, Miranda rights, right? And then he said, okay, I'm going to tell you everything. And he began to tell them a story that went something like this. Hold on to your butts. Ruff allegedly told police how his wife's daughter from a previous marriage had given him a pill bottle with white powder inside around 3 months ago. The daughter, who Ruff admitted he had been having sex with, reportedly told him to put the powder into his wife's drink. She said that it would make his wife go to sleep for approximately 13 hours or so.
Oh, that's a very specific amount of time.
It is. It sounds like something out of Sleeping Beauty or something. They've really timed this out perfectly. They found out in the end that they were putting cocaine, MDMA, and here's a new one for me, BZD. What is that? Anybody?
I can tell you, the first two don't often make people sleepy.
Cocaine does not tend to bring you down. That's a bit of an upper.
Wikipedia page. Now, as far as more research.
BZD? What's that?
Benzodiazepine?
Oh, okay, benzos. All right. So they had like a little concoction going on there that he was trying to give his wife so he could marry her daughter. What an absolute weirdo. He said he'd been doing this all year long. And
she already had some of this.
Oh, yeah. It was in the system. That when they brought her to the hospital, they said, hey, ma'am, have you been doing anything illegal? And she goes, no. And they go, well, you got a lot of illegal stuff in your bloodstream right now. Now, let's start talking to this husband of yours.
It's just, interesting is such a loose word for it. But when it comes to this infidelity of, and I'm just seeing it with what it seems to be men and men that have been married for a long time, it's like, you can't have the infidelity without murdering your wife.
Yeah, I don't get that. I do not understand that at all.
And when they're successful, they can go about like nothing ever happened, and then we'll start our new life. But it leads straight to murder.
Why
Just
is that?
communicate. How about some, hey, this is not working for me. Got to move on.
What do you think that is? Why is it that you have people in these relationships that are not working, and instead of just saying, enough's enough, we're calling it quits, they feel like the route for them to go is to kill the person?
Well, it used to be many, many moons ago. It used to be that they were Catholic, and they would not. They did not believe in divorce, or
Sure,
they could not
but
be
they also
granted a
didn't
divorce.
believe in murder. I believe that's one of the 10 Commandments as well.
But I'm not wrong.
No, I know what you're saying. I was wondering, is it because in some places it's more difficult to get a divorce? Is it because of the stigma of getting a divorce? Or like, what could it be? Steve O says life insurance. Possibly. It could be that money, as it is so often the case, is the motivating factor.
The silent coda says divorce is expensive, and he's trying to plan a wedding to the daughter. So I get where you're trying to save some bucks.
True. Yeah, he's got the 1-2 punch hitting him very soon here. We're going to go to you. We're going to hear from you in just a moment, see what you have on your mind. Go to thenewsjunkie.com to send us one of those dispatches. But let's do a pop quiz here, and let's see
I hated those.
if you have a grasp on what's working and what's not working in 2024. Because I saw this report, I was a little bit surprised by it. There's a couple of things I was surprised about on this report. And they were talking about the fast food establishments that are doing really well this year, despite all the inflation stuff, despite people cutting back on spending. There's still a couple of places that are doing exceptionally well. And then the places that are getting their asses kicked in 2024. So on the winning list, is there any fast food place you could think of where you'd be like, this place, they're acting smart right now. They're probably going to be doing well despite the economic climate that we're seeing. Anything that hits you in the winning column, Sabrina?
I mean, that's popped out like mainstream style, or I'm seeing it growing in popularity, or as far as what I'm ordering late night or every once in a while?
No, I'm looking at 5 brands in the winning column. You know all of them.
Okay. I think Chick-fil-A has done pretty steady. And they have recently come out with this. We're going to do a TV or streaming network.
Yeah, we'll see if that works. That is a very, very interesting idea.
Still closed on Sundays, but I'll get a message every once in a while from the local manager that's like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I'm Larry, and you get free nugs.
Yeah.
So Chick-fil-A, I'll put up there.
All
I
right,
will say Taco Bell seems to be doing all right. Wendy's, I have always found to be very entertaining when it comes to the social media aspect of things.
They're good at that, but you got to wonder, does that actually drive sales? That's the question.
I couldn't tell you that part.
All right. You got those 3 on your list of potential winners. I'm going to tell you right now, you got one right. You got one
the other
on
two
that
wrong.
list right. Other 2 are not on the list of the companies that are doing well despite all this stuff going on. Celine, who would you guess of the places that you might go to that you might drive by each day? And you go,
Are we only talking drive-through?
All of these places, save for 2, I think. Well, actually, they don't all have a drive-through. No,
But they're restaurants.
They're fast or fast casual. I would consider all the places that are on this list.
I think deal-wise, even though their prices are up, I think McDonald's is still doing decent.
Okay.
She said, which ones did she say? Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, and Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know about Taco Bell. I think people are not.
Just name other ones.
I think people are seeing the prices at Taco Bell and going, this used to cost 50 cents.
Yeah. But still cheap comparably to the other places that they're up against.
Chipotle.
All right. I'll tell you this. You got one right on your list, C-Lane. Chipotle is indeed in the winning column, as is Taco Bell, which you didn't think was there, but Sabrina was right about that one.
Interesting.
Number 1 kicking ass right now, and I got to think, and I've fought back against this dumb perception that the grocery store prices are expensive because the companies are greedy. That is numbnuts thinking, really, really dumb. It's not why the prices are high at the grocery store. But at some of these restaurant chains, a little bit of grease in the wheels and a little bit of greed in place. Wingstop is number 1 with 28.7% growth at Wingstop. And I'll tell you, if you've ever tried to DoorDash some Wingstop, wings used to be cheap, but they are cheap no more at Wingstop. It is expensive.
That's true around the board, though.
Isn't that Rick Ross's place? Or he just owns a couple of them?
I think he might own some of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did he buy a few for his son? I think he bought his son a Wingstop.
What a birthday present.
Nice.
God, what a gift that was, whatever it was for. So Wingstop number
that's
1.
exactly what I always want for my birthday, something that's going to cost me a lot of work.
If it gets cranking, though, clearly they're making some money over there. Wings, you're saying just in general, CLN are more expensive, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The price has gone up on that. And so Wingstop, their profits have gone up 28.7%. The second place, I have seen this place that's in the winning column so many times, never been there once in my life. Cava is, I think, how you say it, C-A-V-A, Cava.
I've had their food, but I've never actually, I've just tasted other people's food. I haven't gone I'm going to get some Cava today.
It's popular with younger people. I know a lot of younger people like that place. 14.4% up. Chipotle, 11% up. Here's a surprise. Sweet Green, which is, I think, just like a salad place. And I don't even know if we have them in our area, but they're up 9%, and Taco Bell is up 5%. The losers, this is kind of surprising too, but some of the classics, KFC getting their ass kicked. Papa John's getting their ass kicked. Starbucks down, Pizza Hut down, and C-Lane's McDonald's guess. McDonald's in the losing column. They got to get smart. You got to know that people are tight financially right now.
Yeah,
you can't have the $14 value meal. Taco Bell's got one that's like $8 or something, and it comes with a lot of stuff, like a lot altogether with a drink and everything. Needs to be even cheaper than that, and people will come back to your store. What do you think? Who do you think is performing well on that list or off? Who do you think is not performing well? Tell us your thoughts. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. Let's work one of those in at least and see what we have. Somebody said they try to do the Jurassic Park.
And
here's what they came up with. This is good. This is
the same
better.
program, huh?
I don't know if this is a different AI. It looks like a different AI. It doesn't look like Grok,
Looks
which
like
is what I was
Luna, all the way
It does.
bottom left.
Yeah, right
Sweet
here.
girl.
Yeah, it's the dinosaurs and the cats all the same size for Jurassic Park. That's pretty glorious. I do like that and appreciate your dispatch. And the one audio one we'll do right now is Michael, who says he's so happy. Hello?
Hey, junkies. I just wanted to say I am so glad you guys are not gone.
Same.
Very glad to not be hearing good riddance throughout the week. And now I don't have to be depressed.
Oh, the
Thanks
Green Day
for making
song.
the week great.
Yeah, that was the extra dramatic flair to end on that on Friday. But this whole thing isn't made up, just so everybody knows. It's not made up. There's actually a thing that's floating around in the background. But I think we're doing better now. I think we're moving through this, and we may be able to get past it.
Perfect
if all
time to
goes
pull the
well.
rug.
That's it. You're right. They go right when they think everything's okay. Bam! Pull the trigger on it all.
Our friends in West Palm and Palm Beach Gardens have a Sweet Green, but we are out of luck on
Brutal.
that.
Which is
Brutal.
interesting, considering we're a big city, right?
Mhm, you would
and
think
this is
so.
still in the top 5.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that a lot of other people don't have, but we don't have one of those. The Sweet Greens, we're being ripped off. When we come back, a celebrity death rolling in.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, boy.
I got
Sad news. This might be one of them. We'll see. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Smell that? It's almost football season. Hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season here on Real Radio 104.1, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The off-ramp is partially blocked from I-4 eastbound to Amelia Street, and there's delays on I-4 eastbound between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 there. Around the perimeter of I-4, no major problems. On State Road 429, traffic is up to speed on the Greenway, and there's no major problems on I-95 this afternoon. But if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by True Green. If you want a great-looking lawn next spring, now is the perfect time to get started, and nobody makes it easier or more affordable to get a green, healthy lawn than True Green. Sign up today for an annual plan and get 50% off one application. Visit TrueGreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Did you know that Mortgage Guy Don also offers HELOCs and home equity lines of credit? This is a way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2%, 3%, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for home improvements, debt consolidation, weddings, back taxes, etc. And unlike the corner banks, that Mortgage Guy Don has HELOC options as low as a 640 credit score. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with that mortgageguyDon.com.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold, but the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Big news for veterans and first-time homebuyers. The Hometown Heroes program provides up to $35,000 down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved at thatmortgagguydon.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
People scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But for us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the influencers, audiences, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Buying a house or selling yours? The Nickley Group makes it as easy as ABC. And 1, 2... Oh, and fast, too, because the Nickley Group can get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today. Just visit thenickley.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind. If you've been in a car accident, you need to know a term. It's called statute of limitations. That means you have 2 years from the time of the accident to actually file a lawsuit if need be. If you don't do that, you're going to lose your rights to the claim. Now, sometimes some lawyers will wait till the last minute to file or contact you with just about a month left saying that they don't know if they want to proceed with your case. Be careful with that. For more information, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546, office or Lind.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This
rolling in this week. And I don't know if there's a documentary on this topic, but I would love to see one if there is, just about the world of how wrestlers don't live that long. There is a list online I've seen of wrestlers where they have died at a young age, and some of them in more mysterious circumstances. Sid Vicious, the WCW wrestler, died at 63 years old this week. In his case, it was cancer, which unfortunately doesn't a lot of people. But when you look at the list of the most famous wrestlers, it is kind of jarring just to see how young a lot of them are when they die. And I don't know if it's like steroids or if it's CTE or
rock and roll lifestyle.
They are rough on their body in more ways than one, not even just in the ring. Like Sabrina's saying, too, the lifestyle that comes along with some of that stuff is really hard on your body. And
yeah, but rock stars do the rock and roll lifestyle, and in between they play rock and roll. That's not a big, that's not a real, tasking situation on your body.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much as being in the ring. And even if it's fake, it's still brutal on your body, friends. And 6-time world champion wrestler Sid Vicious, dead at the age of 63. Thoughts on that, hit us up with a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. You can record yours right now. But I have a question for you, Sabrina, and you, C-Lane, and, of course, everybody watching live on chat. Or just listening who wants to send in a dispatch or an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And my question, starting with you, Sabrina, is this. If you were offered by iHeartRadio money or perks, which one of those things do you gravitate towards?
First question, what perks do you speak of?
Okay, we can go down that rabbit hole. I will go a little further because I have an option for you. Now, I want to say ahead of time, this is not real. This is just...
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. I'll check the spam folder, but...
So there's a story out this week about Gen Z. They always target Gen Z as a generation, even though I think the kids are all right. I think Gen Z and in the generation after them are kind of straightening things out, and they're not going with all this PC stuff as much as they were for a bunch of years. I think the kids are going to be fun. But Gen Z is turning down, generally speaking, higher paying jobs for jobs that they see with a lot more perks. For instance, you might get a job where you're not going to get as much money, but it comes with a free gym membership. Maybe they give you various free things that you can do around the office, like a free lunch kind of option that they might have. Okay. Perks that they'll give you on a list. Here's an example that I'll give you, Sabrina. All right, this is like the best way to see if you want money or a perk at the job that you have. Would you like, if the bosses came down to you today, iHeartMedia, they corral you and they go, here's what we have for you, Sabrina. Option A. Option A is an additional $25,000 every single year on your paycheck. You're going to get a $25,000 bonus on top of what you're making right now. Okay, that sounds okay, right?
A bonus or just a raise?
A raise. You're going to get a raise of $25,000 on top of what you're making right now. So that sounds okay. That's your option A. Option B, and if you take, do you already want to take the money? Or?
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
You haven't heard what option B is.
That's why I was, you saw my face before everyone else did.
All right.
So, yes, option A, but I'm here to listen to the perks.
Option A is the $25,000 a year. Every single year moving forward, you get an increase in your salary. Option B, you will not get any increase in your salary. Your salary will stay the same for right now until you negotiate another deal. Your salary will remain the same, but you get to take every Monday off.
I'm going to go option A.
Really?
Without a doubt.
You would go down to a 4-day work week and you would still take the $25,000?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Because with that increase, I can invest in my future, and I will be, despite the 5 days a week, I imagine I still get some PTO, or I get no PTO ever.
No, nothing else is going to change. The only thing that would be different is
$25,000 increase without
A, $25,000 increase to your salary, or B, no increase, but every single Monday off, and it doesn't affect you in a negative way. C-Lane, what option would you take of those two? Would you go with the perk or the salary increase?
That's like $1,000 added to each paycheck, almost, not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Or Monday off. I would have to calculate how much. Like, what's the swing there?
You have to decide that for yourself. You've got to decide what works for you more.
I think I go to option A.
Super Fun Time says he's on the same page. I'm taking the $25K. Rainwater, damn it, says, I work for Amazon. A lot of people say bad things, but it's one of the best jobs I've had in my life. The benefits are off the chain. People are very into benefits right now. They want the perks. They want the extra stuff. But Sabrina and C-Lane, they would go for that one. And this is a strange one. Nobody's really offering this. But that, I think, is a fair toss-up. For me, $25,000 or Mondays off, it's not a good one to give me because I don't want Mondays off necessarily. I like doing the show. I like being involved in all of this stuff. But if I was doing anything else, I would 100% take the Mondays off. I would take the Mondays off, and I could find a way on just Mondays to make more than $25,000 a year if I want to start up a little business or something. Monday business.
Can you share that with me?
I don't have it yet, but once I formulate it, I'll get it for you. Tommy says
he doesn't need it.
Tommy says $2,000 a month or 20% less work days. Cash is king. I don't know. The 3-day weekend every weekend isn't enticing to you guys?
Yeah, but it's not enticing when you don't have money.
Yeah.
I could with $25,000 every year, and that increases. That is money that I'm putting aside that when I don't have to hopefully work anymore, then I don't have to worry about it. I can invest in myself and my children. I can get a damn boat. I don't know. Like, if I do it right and work my ass off 5 days a week, and, realistically speaking, often more than that, then I will take the extra money and hustle.
Everybody's going for the money. Skip says, Mondays off won't buy me a motorcycle. Darian says, take the money. Lee Road says, I'm going to take the money. You got PTO. Yeah, but if you have PTO and every Monday off, depending on how many days you have, you might be able to morph this into a 3-day week for a lot of weeks. That would be a lot less stressful.
Sean, you're saying that, but now you answer realistically.
I said it's tough for me because this show is what I do. It's my whole world. And I wouldn't want to take every Monday off. But if this was maybe 15 years from now, I might go, hell yes, give me the Monday off. And then I can do more traveling. I can have nice, longer, relaxing weekends. Show me the money, says Melissa. What about this scenario? You have a coin, heads up, you get $100 million. Tails, you get 0. And if you decide not to flip it, you get $1 million. Which would you do? This isn't just a random what would you do. We're talking about high-paying jobs versus workplaces with perks, which the New York Post is suggesting. I don't know if they're accurate about this, especially considering the reaction that I'm seeing on chat right now. But they're saying that people want the perks. In 2024, a high-paying salary isn't always enough for a Gen Zer to accept an offer. They want perks, too. New research from a recruitment agency says 39% of workers wouldn't take a job if it didn't provide the benefits they want. One of the benefits might even be like work from home 1 day or 2 days a week. Various different other perks that they could pop out to you. Sometimes you get reimbursement for things like transportation or health insurance is better at one place over another place. Mr. D. Vans on Twitch says $25,000 plus compound interest equals a more comfortable retirement. Now, you guys got to remember, when you're making $25,000 extra, it's going onto your paycheck, payroll taxes, all the other taxes are still going through that. You're not seeing a raw $25,000 coming right back at you. You're going to have to pay all the different taxes, so it'll be a little smaller than that. But let us know what you think. Would you take the money, which is like 90% of what I'm seeing right now, in line with Sabrina and C-Lane? Or would you say, screw it, time is more important to me. I would like a longer weekend. I would like to be able to do more things with my family and my friends. Let's go over to Flip with a dispatch. Record yours now at thenewsjunkie.com. Here's Flip. Oh, hang on. That's my fault.
Make going into getting that $25,000
Let me start him over.
Well, I feel like the difference is what you make going into getting that $25,000 bonus.
Clearly.
Like C-Lane and Sabrina, that's doubling their salary. Sean.
Okay,
on
not
this,
really.
It's like just
Make
a 5%
$25,000 a
increase.
year,
That's
sir.
just like a cost of living upgrade. So, of course, you're going to have different views.
All right. Maybe I should rephrase this without being pedantic here. Let's say you were, it's going to be impossible to reframe this in a way so the money isn't as important. It just comes down to the fact that some people are going to find this more desirable than others. And Eric says $25,000 is life-changing money for most people. I don't think it's life-changing money for most people, $25,000. I think it could definitely, well, depends on what you mean by life-changing. I'm thinking earth-shattering life-changing. If you mean it can modify your life and make it a little bit easier, definitely that's true. You have to really kind of loosen up that. $25,000 isn't obviously life-changing for Sean, so he would take the day off. I wouldn't take the day off. But you could make it a percentage, right? What if you say you get a 10% raise or Mondays off, right? Then it's like same for everybody's salary. Are people still going for the money over that day off? Because from what I've heard, everybody wants this 4-day work week. They're so into this, but nobody has the energy for that right now. What do you think? Let us know. Lots of comments coming in on this. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Works whether you're on an Android device, an iPhone, a laptop, something with a microphone on it, connected to the internet, good to go. So with your thoughts in mind, as they always are, make your way over to the website and keep it nice and sweet and simple and short.
Yeah,
and get
if
your
not,
message across.
We'll make fun of you.
We might. It could be that that's the case. It could be that you're hilarious and we love you and your dispatch is good and you get a yellow star. Who knows? We'll see. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now.
I think an easier way to approach that question would be to it would be two different jobs. And like one job, you have this amount of money. And then this job, you work for a rental car place and you have, you can be a manager. You're upper level manager and you have less of a salary than job A, but you have a car, or they give you a car. You get to get a new rental car every couple of weeks, and they pay the insurance.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about a pretty worthwhile perk that would be money that you're keeping in your pocket, not paying for transportation, not paying for insurance. Probably pay a little bit on, pay the gas, but that's it.
You or I might answer that question differently, though, because we've had cars provided to
Those
us
are the
for
good
free.
old days, huh?
And it was kind of annoying, honestly.
Oh my gosh!
love
You're the
it.
only person that could be annoyed by a free car. You're the only person that I know that could be annoyed by a free car.
No, come on. You couldn't get the car over a certain amount of mileage. You had to go bring the car back and trade it in for a new car.
That
It was a nice
sounds
little drive.
Lovely. That sounds great.
It was a short drive for big savings.
It was not. It was a longer drive than advertised, I think. Quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. You guys are fired up about this. You've got some opinions. That's good. That sounds nice. I like that. And we have to, I don't want to talk about that because I know it's going to be in the next episode, or at least I would think.
Thank
a
you.
lot more money headed to the podcasting world. Yet another huge deal. Where is this money coming from? Why are these people burning their cash on these podcasts? Is this actually a really smart deal? We're going to find out what you think, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I mean, Ferrari was always my first love because of Tom Selleck. My next door neighbor in Green Bay had that Ferrari.
That
and let me lay on it and take a photo.
Really?
Oh,
boy. Where's that?
How old were you? I was like 14.
Okay, 10, 14.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Two left lanes are blocked due to an accident on I-4 eastbound at Parr Street. I believe this is affecting the I-4 eastbound express lanes as well. There's slowdowns at the intersection where John Young Parkway meets Vine Street around the perimeter of I-4. No major problems on State Road 429, and it's mellow on the Greenway there. If you see any other traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
I had so many dreams, but life quickly got in the way. Then
Rasmussen University saw my true potential and gave me the support and confidence I needed to become who I am today. Rasmussen University. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Audible is a proud partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app? Like on your phone? I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Shh.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Hundreds of pre-owned vehicles are closeout priced, all makes and models, during the Labor Day used car closeout at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Plus, get a $500 Visa gift card with purchase through Monday. Come see us or click OrlandoNissan.com. See dealer for details.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Big news for veterans and first-time homebuyers. The Hometown Heroes program provides up to $35,000 down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved at that mortgageguydon.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
ePass presents the romantic comedy travel experience of the fall.
Margaret, I love you.
And I love saving on Florida toll roads with ePass.
You'll fall in love with convenient roadway electronic toll payments all over again. Plus, this week only, you can qualify to win $100 in tolls. Go to getepass.com and sign up for a free ePass sticker. You'll be entered to win one of our daily giveaways of $100 in tolls now through September 2nd. Choose ePass. Expect savings. Get details and rules of the contest at getepass.com.
I'm John Morgan, and I'm asking you to stand with me and vote yes on Amendment 3. Amendment 3 will be on your ballot in November, and it will allow adults to possess or safely use marijuana, and that's a very good thing. Amendment 3 will put an end to bad laws that not only cost us millions in law enforcement dollars, but also cost thousands of Floridians their freedom. Nearly 250 years ago, our nation declared our independence. Now it's time for us to declare our independence from laws that demand jail time for simply having or consuming marijuana. Our system of treating adults who consume marijuana as criminals is madness. Join me, John Morgan, in supporting our own Declaration of Independence and vote for the people and vote yes on Amendment 3.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
The show that takes you from Skywall summer to Jack Rocket fall.
See if there's anything spicy on the email side. You can always be anonymous if you'd like. Just put that right on top of your email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, like this one. Anonymous, please, it says. Hey, Sean, I used to work for a college for about 12 years. For the record, we were talking, if you just tuned in, about would you take, since there's stories out there saying Gen Z people tend to be more likely to want perks instead of more money at a job, would you take a $25,000 increase on your salary or the perk of not having to work Mondays ever, and you just get every single Monday off? A lot of people said, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money, money. Anonymous, please, says, used to work for college for about 12 years. As a full-time employee, we worked Monday through Thursday with 4 9-hour days. We worked 36 hours but got paid for all 40. We usually had PTO, spring break, and winter break, usually the week before Christmas through January 2nd, and Thanksgiving break off and paid. I wound up leaving it after that time for working weekends only, but made a lot more money and better health benefits. I really enjoyed having all the time off and 4-day work weeks, but the lower pay and drama of the work at the college made me choose other options. Many people stayed there and have been there for a very long time just based on all the time off per year, says Anonymous. So he had that option and liked it for a little while, but it didn't work out in the long run. Eric emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Sean, you should look into the story of the founder of Telegram getting arrested. Ooh. Yes, this happened in France. They're arresting him for refusing to censor his platform, charging him with terrorism, money laundering, and nefarious activities that were done on his platform. This is setting a scary precedent.
Who arrested him?
The country of France.
Oh, France. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. France actually arrested this guy when he landed on a vacation on a private jet. It said this is setting a scary precedent when it comes to free speech, and rumor is it was the American government that pressured France into arresting him. Have a great day. Glad you guys aren't going away. Sabrina is hot, says Eric.
Thank you.
Here's we mentioned this at the end of the show yesterday. I do agree with you on this. I think this is terrible. I think this is really, really bad. And I think it might be just the start of things, because you have a lot of countries who don't have any control over these social media platforms. And boy, do they want it, right?
Instagram, Twitter,
Now,
y'all see that?
They're going to tell you that this is all in the name of safety. It's just to keep you safe. You got to keep everybody safe because, keep the bad guys off this Telegram app, people who are selling drugs off the Telegram app, all the people who are up to no good. We want to keep them off this app. But I think the larger motivation is actually these countries just don't like these powerful platforms that they have no control over. And if you think that this man is directly responsible for some sort of crime, then fine, charge him with that crime. But if you're just saying there is a lack of oversight and moderation on this app that's used by hundreds of millions of people, then what you're doing is trying to scare all the other social media platforms into conforming to your policies. And that's bad. A lot of bad stuff is happening in France. France is a troubled country, just as, the U.S., we have our issues too. But France is a troubled country right now. Germany is a troubled country. England is dealing with a lot of issues. And a lot of these countries seem to think, hey, well, we could fix it if we just turn into cyber police and we get full access to every single message on every single platform, and we get all the bad people, in air quotes, shut down. And that's okay if you live in a black and white world where the bad person is obvious and the good person is just as obvious. And I used to feel that way as a little kid. And for some situations, you can still feel that way. When I see a member of ISIS or something, I'm like, okay, that's obviously a bad guy. And the people who they're going after are obviously the good guys. But some things are more murky than that. You know, it's who's the bad guy in an equation like ground fighting in the Middle East, in Israel and Gaza. It changes from moment to moment who the bad guy is. It's a lot more difficult to determine. And then the bad guy can just become the people you don't like. There's a good portion of the internet. There's a good portion of Twitter, X.com, whatever you like to call it, that literally, if given the power, if made president of the United States of America, would love to completely silence all the people who disagree with them politically. Good chunk of the, like maybe 10% of the country on the left and 10% of the country on the right. They would love to squash that. Those people who they disagree with become the bad people. So that's where I think this kind of turns into something that is a bit alarming to me, and I'm not a fan of it. I believe they're supposed to let him go today. I think they said the time that they could hold him for was running out. So we'll see if they charge him. Artie emails the show and says, "Hey, junkies, although I would disagree with the Nirvana reunion or a reunion from them of any sort because I grew up on them, to me, this guy sounds the most like Kurt Cobain. Love the show. Pick me for Fritz on the street tomorrow. Cheers." And he sends along a link to somebody who I assume sounds like Nirvana's lead singer, Kurt Cobain. I don't even think it could just be that. I think you have to have more than just the voice down. It can't
the vibe,
just be,
man.
Yeah, the vibe is kind of important. Yeah. Surprised I'm saying that, but the vibe is important. You can't have a man in a suit up there singing a Nirvana song unless that man is the front person for the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. You know, like it's very situational. Just in my estimation, it is. Big money being thrown at the podcast world over and over and over. We hear about the people on the top of the podcast pyramid who are making all the money. 99.9999999% of the other podcasts aren't making a thing. It's tough. You think, and everybody did this for a while. You guys remember this. You remember when everybody and their brother was buying a microphone and like a podcast startup kit, and I'm going to do a podcast with my friends because we're funny. Some of you might have been really funny. But it's so hard to get the attention of the podcasting world unless you're already famous. So Joe Rogan gets a $100 million deal. And the Call Her Daddy lady gets a $100 million deal over at Sirius in the latest one. And now the Kelsey brothers, they just signed an Amazon podcast deal.
Oh, they have a good podcast.
$100 million they signed this for. $100 million. This is a lot of money that people are throwing around at these top tier podcasters.
Chump change for them, though, you think?
For Amazon,
You think they'd rather have Mondays off?
I think that.
Wait,
they
are
don't
you saying
you're saying
chump change for the Kelsey brothers?
I think you're saying Amazon. Chump change for Amazon. For the Kelsey brothers, no, not chump change. The $100 million is a lot of money to anybody other than Amazon, the corporation. But how do you make sense of this financially? I don't think that show generates $100 million. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I seriously doubt a podcast generates $100 million in revenue. I don't even know if Joe Rogan's podcast generates
just by
$100
listening,
million.
because I think that everything that is attached to it will definitely generate your advertisers, your merchandise, your live appearances. All that could
$100 million is a lot of money.
I agree.
We're talking, what, short of $10 million a month, $8 million a month you're talking about they have to generate. That's a lot. That is a lot from podcast ads. I see what the highest revenue generating podcast is, if that's a thing we can Google in 2024. Somebody search for that. Like, podcast that generates the most revenue, and see what they're bringing in. Because I would be very surprised if anybody was nearing $100 million.
That would...
Joe Rogan is, at least according to crowdfundly.com, is at $30 million. When was this?
$30 million a year?
This was written in February of this year.
Uh-huh.
Second is Karen Kilgariff. Kilgore?
I don't know. Who's that?
And
Crime
Georgia?
Junkie?
They didn't. I'm surprised they didn't do the name of the podcast. I imagine it's Karen and Georgia, whoever they are. Dak Shepard's 9 mil, Bill Simmons 7, and Chapo Trap Network 2 million.
Yep. Chapo Trap House podcast. It's just really hard to make that much money. This is like when Sirius threw all the money at Howard Stern. Where do you think that's going? Right here. This is where it's going. It's not going. Watch that whole thing fall apart very, very quickly. And talk about somebody who works a handful of days, you know?
And that list was the highest paid podcasters. It's hard to find out the revenue without all of the podcasts, like subscription services, A, reporting their numbers, and B, doing it honestly.
Yeah, it would very much surprise me if anybody was making that much. I think it's a gold rush for the big name podcast. You want to have one of them on your side. If you're any big company, if you're Amazon, if you're Sirius, if you're whoever, iHeart, throwing money at these people. A lot of them, sometimes they'll throw money at a celebrity and go, just do a podcast. And then nobody even listens to the podcast and money down a well. It's the gold rush. And I think that's happening right now with the biggest of big names. When we come back, I'll tell you what's happening. The next episode.
Speaking of gold rush.
Is coming up next. So what's happening or what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Cha-ching. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. But, thank you.
You did it.
But now the couch from Friends could be yours if you pay a lot. Another week, another story of RFK Jr. and a dead animal. Worms, dogs, bears, oh my, what is next? Plus, the juice turns into jewelry. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, CoolToday.com.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And for today, we'll have an easterly flow from the Atlantic. That'll lead to partly cloudy skies, a few passing showers. Our chance for rain, 40%. There may be a clap of thunder this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees. It'll feel like 107 with the humidity. This pattern continues for much of this work week. We'll only slowly see our rain chances ramping up as we head into this Labor Day weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours? Give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman. Instead of talking about how great my law firm is, let's talk about autism awareness. In Central Florida alone, there are thousands of children on the autism spectrum, including my son Jacob. I'm not asking for a donation, but just a couple seconds of kindness when you see one of our children out in public. It will make a huge difference. If you want or need any information concerning the autism community, contact me at jeff@whenyounitus.com. Offices, Orlando.
My friends at Mills Air have been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. They're a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, and there are rebates that you get up to $1,275 on a brand new Carrier unit. If you're going to go with the experts, you got to go with Carrier, and you got to go with millsair.com. That's where I got my system. I absolutely love it. And you got to make sure you do maintenance on your AC system. They do service on all brands of AC, and it can detect and prevent an upcoming breakdown for you and save you a lot of money. You can count on millsair.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
And beyond. When you guys were little, did your parents do anything for your first day of school? Like take a picture of you and all that? Like Sabrina, did your mom sit you down? And
I mean, we did, but I would say after so many years, it was like, okay, there's 4 of you and we need to get to school on time. So.
Yeah, let's get to it, right?
I think the last one we did was maybe my last day of like my 8th grade, graduating 8th grade. My first day of high school for sure, but it was like me walking through the doors and you could see I'm like, stop, Mom.
I'm over it, Mom.
Yeah, leave me in my long skirt alone.
Did your parents ever do this?
Yeah, it was when they were still together and we still had the house in Peppermill with the pool. It was always like in front of the pool. And it was like me, and I had to wear a uniform at the time, so it was me in my school uniform. And we never had like a sign or anything, or the chalkboard thing came much later.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't know if there was ever fizzled out like in my high school years. And I was like, come on, let's get this over with. But
every kid gets totally burned out and bored of doing that. I got somebody who's done it in a pretty interesting way. We'll talk about that after the next episode. Right now, though, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Let's make the room stank.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. He is the best. He is a friend. He is a real human that's going to treat you just like a real human and not like a number like all the other mortgage companies would. Rates all over the place. The process very confusing, whether you're refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, perhaps you want to expand your business. You want to work with someone who you trust, especially when you're making big decisions like that. So start the process today with that expert, with Don himself, by going to thatmortgageguy.don.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguy.don.com.
It was a mere 35 years ago, 1989, just before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird question that just popped in my head. If I was born in April of 1990, I was conceived in...
January, February, March, April. 4 or 5 months minus the year. That would be the 7th month of the year, which would be September minus 2.
Oh, so I'm in the works,
July.
probably.
You'll be July, I think.
Oh,
right?
my gosh. Yeah, so I was in the womb on this day 35 years ago, and one of the members of this band, Out of the Womb and Creating Chaos.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses is right, and we have a second clap, perhaps a third clap, multiple claps, and Izzy Stradlin is who I'm speaking of?
Yes, yeah.
He was arrested on this. Everyone else, don't pee-pee on the plane floor after getting in an argument with a flight attendant. Or
We
just
just had
zero arguments at all. Don't pee-pee on the plane floor.
They had a recent story about that where I think it was a former NFL player. And then they did that on the old lady who they were fighting
that
with.
poor old
20
lady.
seconds.
20 long seconds.
Oh,
No one stopped it at all. It's a
brutal.
Strong stream. Someone who's peeing in heaven now. We bid adieu to Liberace's lover.
Oh.
He has passed away. We bid adieu to Scott Thornton, who has also passed away along with Sid Vicious at the age of 65 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He dished on his romance with Liberace in his 1988 memoir, Behind the Candelabra.
Ooh.
Is that what Liberace's butt was called?
Might be. Candelabra?
Just a year after the famed pianist's death. He has also passed away. He died, I guess, on August 16th, but we're just hearing about it now. He's been a patient at an LA healthcare facility where he had been dealing with cancer and a heart condition.
Jesus.
Double whammy there. He was hired as Liberace's personal friend and... I'm sorry.
He was hired as his friend?
Yeah, I thought for sure it would be personal assistant, but it
Is
was...
there a website for that? Where can I go? Line up a couple.
I don't know if the website's up and running anymore. I feel like back in the day it would be more of word of mouth.
Yeah.
Something of a mouth.
It's hard to make friends once you're not a kid anymore. It's tough. You got to buy them.
Liberace's personal friend and companion when he was 18, and the icon was just a couple years older at 57 years old.
Damn.
So that's weird. They kicked off their 5-year romance. Then he got fired from the gig of being his friend and companion in 1982, and then hit Liberace with a tiny little lawsuit of $113 million.
That's pretty steep.
Ended up being the first same-sex palimony suit.
Okay.
Is that a fun word, or is that what it's
Are they
called?
calling it?
Like pal, like friendimony?
Uh-huh. I think so.
Ever filed in the U.S., but he kept denying that he was a homosexual back in the day, ended up settling the suit out of court. Then he died the next year, 1987, from HIV/AIDS and complications of the such. So he was 65 years old. He was also he wrote a memoir that came out not too long ago, and then they did the movie with Matt Damon starring as him and Michael Douglas starring as Liberace. May he rest in peace. And I guess the Grim Reaper had a field day because this gal's mother and sister
I saw this.
died the same day.
That's brutal.
Mariah Carey.
Big time. She has announced it over the weekend. The mom, Patricia, and sister Allison died on the same day over the weekend. She says, "My heart is broken that I have lost my mother this past weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life on the same day."
I didn't realize how dark Mariah Carey's upbringing
They're
was before
estranged.
reading this story.
Is that correct, that they are estranged?
The sisters are estranged, but Allison is her name?
Sister was Alice.
Allison had made a plea a handful of years back that she needed Mariah Carey's help because she was trying to get clean again. She was in and out of rehab, homelessness, but Mariah Carey opened up in her memoir saying that when she was 12 years old, her sister drugged her and tried to sell her to a pimp.
What?
That's an awkward Thanksgiving.
So,
despite up and downs, as they say, Mariah maintained a relationship with her mother, and like C-Lane said, in 2010, much as mentioned in the memoir. Am I been saying this wrong the whole time? Memoir. They came together for ABC's Mariah Carey Merry Christmas to You special, performed a festive mother-daughter duet of Oh Come All Ye Faithful, because I don't know if you knew this, Mariah's mom was a trained opera singer.
Really?
And she also dedicated her memoir to her mom and in part to her mom, Pat. As far as the sister goes, it was very complex.
Yeah, there's a lot more pictures of Mariah and Pat, her mother, because they had sort of squashed the beef a little bit. There was one picture, old-ass picture from Mariah's first wedding that Allison attended, but she was very much estranged from the family.
Maybe this inspires people, if there's still a little hope there with your estranged loved ones to come back together.
God, how is that even possible? It seems so random that they would both die on the same damn day.
Well, the way that she put it sounds like mom died of natural and
causes.
This is me assuming everything, alleged or what have you. But it seemed like she lost her life or with something else. But I guess no details shall be shared. What I do have are the details of the afterlife. Kind of, when it comes to this guy.
Turn on the juice.
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson is right, and he has been cremated. The juice turns into ash, and now that ash has turned into jewelry for his closest family and friends.
Made a diamond out of O.J. Simpson?
I think they just put the ashes in jewelry.
Oh.
Which is not a terrible idea.
That's a thing you could do, though, right? You can make a diamond out of ashes, right?
Yeah. Or does that mean that they're actually making it a diamond, or they're taking a diamond and then right in the middle is a tiny bit of ash?
It's a service that people provide. This says diamonds from cremation ashes. Like, it's a whole thing that you can do.
But considered a blood diamond still?
In a strange way, it might be. But you're saying that they just made jewelry out of the ashes?
Yeah, and it got distributed among his 4 children. That includes Sydney and Justin, who were just kids when their mother was killed. And he is now cremation jewelry. They don't have the details of what he was made into.
I would never wear that. Would you guys wear that?
Jewelry with my parents' ashes in it?
Yeah.
I probably would.
I don't like it. It's like, it seems dark to me. I don't think I could bring myself to do it.
What if it was lady?
No. Still no. No.
You don't wear jewelry, though.
No, I think maybe that's why it's a little weirder for me, because just the act of having the jewelry on would be something different.
I think I'd wear the jewelry over, have it in a box at my house.
What if
I told you guys about the old neighbor of mine who's...
No?
Oh, I do not have time for this. I thought for sure I told you years ago.
Cliff Notes version. What happened to the neighbor? TLDR.
She lost a child, and that child was cremated, and then there was a discrepancy with the landlord, and in a freak-out moment said, hey, can you please grab this
to
stuff
hold the
for
ashes.
me?
Yeah, I do remember that. Right.
Yeah,
You had to...
I was not aware that the dead baby ashes were in there by any means until I was like, hey, your stuff's kind of everywhere. Let me see if I can get a better Tupperware. Oh, my God. And there they were. So I couldn't put it in my garage. I made, for some reason, a weird placement in my house until she was ready.
Somebody else's that. She got those back from you then, right?
Yeah, I reminded her every single week. Hey, did you want to grab your stuff, by the way? Asterisk included your
baby ashes.
I couldn't get to the stuff about RFK Jr., so maybe we can touch upon it later.
You have time for one more story right now?
All right, cool. Then we'll breeze upon this. RFK Jr. seems to have a thing with dead animals. Speaking of dead stuff.
This guy has some stories. He had brain worms. He killed a bear.
That is correct. Killed the bear, put it on a bicycle, left it as a prank in Central Park. We also had this rumor that he ate a dog, and there was a picture in which someone had to say, no, we think that's not a dog, but we don't know for sure. And now we have the latest story. A dead whale's head. And RFK Jr. That was you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Back in 2012, Kennedy's daughter, Kik, said in an interview with Town and Country, of all of the magazines, she said that when she was 6 years old, they heard that a dead whale had washed up on the beach. So they drove 5 hours to said beach, where her dad cut the whale's head off with a chainsaw, strapped it to the roof of their car, and drove back home with it.
Wow, that is weird.
We talked about this already.
How do you even know where the head ends and the rest of the whale begins? Isn't that kind of a...
I think we're right behind the eyes.
Let me tell you something. Have you guys seen this video of RFK Jr. with the shirt off?
No.
I don't know if this guy's on roids or what, but he's in his 70s. And this dude is like, he's jacked. Look at him. He's in really, really good physical shape.
So it's easy to cut off the whale's head.
He's like some weird, like, outdoorsman. I'm telling you, 61% chance he's ripped up on HRT or steroids or something, because he is in way too good a shape for his age.
For a 70-year-old.
His heart is hopping right
Bless
now.
you.
Boom, 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 boom.
And also he has this gal's endorsement. So, well, she did. And then he goes and he gave his endorsement to Trump, and so now MIA is giving her endorsement to Trump as well. So
Trump should ditch J.D. Vance and pick RFK Jr. as his VP. I think it would be a smart move. No joke. No, all seriousness. I think it would be a smart move.
I like that guy out there. All right.
I think that he's better and more interesting than J.D. Vance, and I think he would serve Trump.
I mean, J.D. Vance is not, is he not polling as the worst?
He's
VP
not very
pick
well
in
liked.
Modern history or
You
something
can't
like
just
that.
go out and just start taking shots at large swaths of the demographic. Like, even if you go, what, the cat lady's going to get mad? Yes, the cat lady's going to get mad. Do you get mad? Let's say you like Trump. If you like Trump and you're a big Trump fan, and somebody says all Trump fans are dumb, don't you feel like you take a hit when you hear that, and you go, well, screw the person that said that? You can't come out so negative like that. I think it's not worked for him very well.
On the boob tube, we got America's Got Talent, the quarterfinals on NBC, Beat Shazam on Fox, The Quiz with Balls on Fox as well, Sam Special, The Quiz with Balls.
All right. It's a lot of balls.
Balls involved. Adam Sandler, Love You on Netflix, the new stand-up special, and you could catch repeats on Late Night. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. And most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. And if RFK Jr., if his voice was normal, he would have been polling 10 points higher, I think. I think a lot of people just hear the voice.
He should have
and
just done his stuff with his shirt off. He has a good body.
That's not a presidential voice. People are very judgy about president stuff. They really are. They're like,
I mean, it's hard to
this
listen
person,
to policy when it's hard to listen to the voice. Imagine you would not make it in radio with that voice.
That's how a lot of people are at their core. They'll say things like that. They'll be like, he might be good, but I can't take his voice.
That's why, or what's his name, never allowed himself to be photographed in that wheelchair.
FDR,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, nobody would have respected him as president if they would have seen some of this stuff. So
the
they
wheelchair
pretend.
doesn't say strength to a lot of people.
No, it doesn't. All right, quick break. When we come back,
We
we're
love
gonna get
all
to
our wheelchair listeners.
a brand new company that is trying to sell you sunlight in the middle of the night.
Tell
I
me
kid you
more.
not. This is a real thing. A company that is trying to sell you sunlight in the middle of the night. How does this all work? What's going on? And that first day of school thing that I told you about that I thought came out pretty cute. We'll check into that and so much more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your new Orlando home for Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. Real Radio 104.1. Fire the cannons.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents to keep an eye out for this afternoon. The off-ramp from I-95 southbound to State Road 421, that is partially blocked. There's an accident on I-4 eastbound at Parr Street, I believe affecting some express lanes as well. Traffic is backed up from Robinson Street. No major problems around the perimeter of I-4. Traffic is up to speed on State Road 429 and the Greenway. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
As storm season heats up, your Better Business Bureau reminds you to make a list now of trusted professionals. If you need help after a hurricane, who will you trust? Protect your home and family by choosing licensed, reputable professionals. Turn to bbb.org to find a better business.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system, where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Don't miss TK Law. Trendley Kramer Law calls every Monday at 6:20 on The Jim Colbert Show. Ray Trendley and the Colbert crew will be discussing all things law and not law on a variety of topics, from the latest legal news to the best new movies.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you're looking for an opportunity to make a difference in your life and the lives of others, If you want to make an impact on your community, on the world around you, the VA is a place to be. Not only is it a place to be, it's a place that needs you.
Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the 4th window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword festival to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's festival to 200-200.
Radio.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
Thank you for becoming a Secret Show subscriber. Unlock Secret Shows yourself over at thenewsjunkie.com. Go over there to learn more. Dave on YouTube says, it's a shame what's become of our country. It's become so polarizing that if anybody has an opposing view, they'll get attacked with so much hatred. Very sad that we cannot respect one another. I know what you're saying, and I know why you feel exactly the way you feel, but I disagree. And let me explain to you why. I have a theory. I think this theory is pretty rock solid. I think it's one of those things that just holds up to a lot of scrutiny. Social media changes the way we view the zeitgeist,
Facebook,
right? In the country,
Instagram, Twitter, y'all
and
see
we can very easily slip into a Twitter hellhole and go, God, everybody hates each other. Everybody is so polarized. What we have, and this has been pretty consistent throughout time, is 10% of incredibly disagreeable, annoying, obnoxious people on the left. They're very loud. 10% of very disagreeable, annoying, obnoxious people on the right. They're very loud. They hate each other, and they scream over everybody else. And they view the world in a very dopey way. But when you go outside, that's why people say touch grass, and just like walk around your neighborhood, talk to a human being, go out and interact with people in the real world. You don't see this. Like, people aren't sitting next to somebody at a bar and going, hey, how you doing? And the person's like, you like Trump or not? No, like that's not happening out there. We just kind of get convinced that everybody is this crazy because our world, as opposed to it being the real world anymore, is the virtual world. Our faces are buried in our phones, and we just read the endless stream of hate and nonsense on all these social media platforms. And that becomes our reality. This is why I think the new Toy Story has like kind of a super interesting idea. The Toy Story that's going to be out in 2097, whenever they get this one done.
Can't wait.
But they confirmed that they were doing, what is it, Toy Story 4, I believe? 5, number 5. And it's going to be about how kids don't play with toys anymore. Kids don't play with actual, like, you know, solid toys. They play with computers, and they look at screens, and They don't use their imagination.
Is
like
that
we
the
used
villain?
to.
Big video game, the villain?
I think
But
that's
then
just
what
what it's
happens
based
then?
around.
Then you have
What do you mean?
Quentin Tarantino, who makes headlines like, they should have just stopped at 3. So it's like you can't even have that like moment of like, that's exciting and something to look forward to in 10
Did he
years
say
from
that?
now. Yes.
That's
I didn't
dumb.
even want to pull the story because I'm like, oh, you're so exhausted. You're exactly what, I mean, everyone watches your movies and you could make 4-hour movies, but then why do we have to pick up your comment about Toy Story? And that's like that just example of miserable crap on everything that people are exhausted by.
Just
in
don't
all
watch
aspects
it.
of life.
Like you could totally go without watching Toy Story 4 if
Or
you wanted
commenting
to.
on it. And like, I get it that it's a clickbait, or maybe, I don't know. I couldn't even click on it. I got pissed off just reading the headline. But
That's
it's like,
stupid.
no one needs your commentary on it, Quentin.
Yeah, I don't agree with him at all on that. But I do think, just like generally speaking, about the idea that technology has warped our view of the world. I think that we're all victim to that sometimes. I can do it too. I can go online and be like, God, look at all these dumbass people. Nobody wants to know about the truth. 0 people care about the truth anymore. Your neighbors, your friends, the people you encounter, most of the time, 99% of the time, they're going to be good, solid people. We don't think about that. It's just like we've discussed on the show before. And it's fundamentally a truth of being in media, working in a job like this, like we do. If 99 people email you and go, hey, love you so much. Thanks for getting me through my days.
Bradley Cooper.
You're so funny. The show is great. Da, 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 da. And then one person says, you suck. The you suck sticks with you all day long. It resonates with you and it bothers you because somebody's just being mean for no reason. And online, that same thing happens, except a lot of the good is weeded out and it's just negative, nonstop negativity like that. So I absolutely understand why you feel that way and what would make you feel that way. But I think we are being driven into this position of feeling this by very radical fringe people who we should just tell to shut up and go away, who we should just unfollow, who algorithms should demote. All of those things would make us a better human race, I guess, in the end.
To Quentin's credit, he did say it was because the third movie was like one of the best movies he's ever seen.
The fourth was good too, though. I liked it.
I haven't seen either of them.
We watched the first one last night. We watched the very first Toy Story, and it's funny to see they had the toys down all right, but when they show the humans in that first Toy Story, a bit of that Uncanny Valley kind of early Simpsons, first season of the Simpsons vibe, where it's a little uncomfortable to look at.
Right, and they got it better as the technology.
Yeah, that was like 1995, for God's sake. That was a long time ago. And
Was that the movie that one producer saved the whole thing?
yes, it was Toy Story 2 ? We've talked about that before.
Yeah, but then they also after
They
they
redid it.
after they saved it, they deleted the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, they ended up trashing that thing. All right, new startup. This is pretty wild. This is what I teased out of the last segment. I don't know if this is their promo video or not. Stick with me here. I want to just see if this is the promo video for this company, Reflect Orbitals. Did they say anything in this?
This is
Somebody said there's a video on YouTube, but all I'm seeing is just like space.
I know which one you're talking about. I'll try to find it.
Oh, is there another one where it shows what the business motto actually is?
It was like some guy filming on his
The
phone,
CEO?
and then he was filming the guy. It's like, it shows it, and then all of a sudden you see the sunlight, and he points his phone up, and it's like where it's coming from. But to anybody else, it did look like sunlight for a second. I didn't know
All
how
right.
it worked. I was like, oh, cool, scroll.
I think it's
Here.
this.
Oracle has a new lighting
it?
service where you can like
That
play
one,
with
yep.
the spot.
awesome.
Yeah, watch this. Just bring it over to us here. It's not crazy.
No way. That can't be real.
No way.
That can't
No
be real.
way.
The company swears that they're real. Here are the details. It says the sun sets and night falls sooner or later for each of us, but a startup wants to change that. California-based Reflect Orbitals has developed a new way to sell sunlight after dark. This can't be real.
Why would you buy it?
Here's what they said. Reflect Orbitals is building space mirrors to reflect sunlight onto solar panels at night. The goal is to maximize solar farms' energy production. According to their official website, you can also book a spot of light for yourself. No way. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying that they have certainly that they have technology now that can do this. I think that video is absolutely fake.
I think the video is a little dramatized. Maybe what they're doing is similar to what it is. It just seems like that they were dragging on the phone way too fast for that mirror to be moving.
Yeah, so what they were doing, because it's a visual, I'll put this up on See It Now.
Now, I do know
thenewsjunkie.com.
I do know that there have been experiments with space mirrors and like reflecting sunlight back to the nighttime side
but
of
no
Earth.
way they got anything like this. What they show is they show these two guys, they're outside, it's dark, it's pitch black on the street, and they have an app up, and they're moving their finger on the app, and it's bringing this mirrored ray of light to them, and they bring it right over on top of them, and it lights up like it's bright outside because they have lined up with this mirror. No way that functionality exists right now. I don't buy it. I don't think they could do that.
Also, I mean, if you're a solar farm and say you're right, we could double our production by having space mirrors point the sun at us. What is the price of that? How much is it going to cost to pay the space mirror company to direct the sun at you? And will it be reasonable for your bottom line as a solar farm?
No shot. Like, how
who's to say though that all these satellites of Starlink don't have some mirrors on it and they're not working together? I mean, there's so many of them that they're putting up. Once a month we have a launch.
Okay, hold on. Sunlight after dark. I'm putting this up on See It Now. Here's why I'm skeptical of this, and you guys can tell me if you are with me or not, if you agree or you disagree. I don't believe that. I believe that the size mirror that it would take to pull off what they're doing, to redirect sunlight in the middle of the night to a darkened area, because obviously the sun is always there and always available, and it probably is a possibility you could do this. But I think the mirror that it would take to do this would have to be enormous in size and scope. I do not think you just have like a regular, mirror that you might find in your bathroom up in space, and then you could redirect the sun and the rays of the sun to go down at night. I just don't know if that's possible right now.
If you can
with
get a
current technology,
handheld laser to be so powerful that it blinds a pilot on a plane.
Yes,
and why couldn't
a pilot landing? Sure,
but think about something just to scale. Obviously, not handheld. But just a little bit bigger, maybe the size of a bus.
All right.
That could not direct sunlight.
I don't think that's up in space right now. I don't believe that is up in space right now. I don't think that if you took a very bright laser right now, I might be wrong about this. Correct me if I am wrong, if you know more about this. I don't think that you could point it at the space station and that laser would be impactful on the space station. I don't think it would go that far. You'd have to talk about height somewhere near there to be able to get to active sunlight and redirect it down to the ground in an area where it was dark. It's crazy and interesting. I'm just not buying that it's real. Hold on, let me go to their website, Reflect Orbitals.
But we're talking about the power of a laser versus the power of the sun. The sun is, I believe, 8 light minutes away from us. And the impact that it has during the peak of summer on us, the amount that it reflects off the moon, I think it's definitely powerful enough that if you put any decent sized mirror and pointed it, in such a trajectory that it points the sunlight at Earth, we're going to get something, right?
Here's their website. This is what it says here. Reflect Orbital Sunlight After Dark. And I'm scrolling down. The sun is a huge fusion reactor that supports all life on Earth. The sun's light contains 24 trillion times more energy than humanity uses today. It's an unending source of energy. Reflect captures that sunlight and brings it down to Earth using mirrors in space, powering a solar future and lighting our world. They said after the sun has set, explore lighting, because they were acting like you could buy this right now. Okay. It says reserve a spot of light. Applications close this October. Limited availability. Delivery begins at the end of next year, and you can click Apply for Sunshine.
Apply for it. Do it, Sean.
I'm applying for sunshine here.
Do it.
What did you do today? Well, I put in my application for some sunshine at night, of course.
All right. It says specifications, a duration of 4 minutes, and you put in your name and your information and where you want that spot of sunshine at night. Like I would put my address or something, and then you.
How bad would it hurt your eyes if you looked up?
I don't know. It didn't look that.
That is such a simple
crazy.
website.
It is.
For something like that.
Their regular website is fine and makes sense. I don't know if I'm buying into this now. Maybe we'll try to reach out to them and see if they'll be willing to talk to us about this.
If I applied for 4 minutes of sunlight to be pointed at my house, I mean, based on even the picture that we're looking at, where it's like, this little kind of swath of light on an urban setting. It's definitely bigger than just
around.
Yeah, okay. But is that going to weird the S out of my neighbors? I mean,
think so.
Imagine the mind F that the neighbors would feel when it's like 10 o'clock at night and it's bright out for a couple minutes.
And the neighbor goes outside and looks up and there's light coming from space.
Sup, that's my sunlight. Applied for it 2 years ago.
The neighbor's going to think, aliens, obviously. Clearly, this is aliens that's doing this. Why else would there be a light beam on my house in the middle of the night?
What's the maximum you can apply for in minutes?
I think it said 15 minutes. I don't know if you can move.
So
yeah.
15
4 minutes.
Nighttime pool party, 4 minutes.
Let's go.
The quickest nighttime pool party. What do you guys think? Would you ever have any use for this?
Hell yeah.
Do you think
4 minute
it's
pool
actually
party?
real? Do you think you could do this? Naomi says, this sounds pretty silly. It's one of those things, just like C-Lane said earlier, they spend so much time thinking about can they do it and not enough time thinking about should they do it, a la Jurassic Park. I didn't get the words exactly right.
Oh, neither did I, so that's the second attempt. Maybe third time's the charm.
We'll land on it eventually. That's wild. Okay. It's up on the website because it's a visual. Check out See It Now over on thenewsjunkie.com. And maybe we'll put in a sunshine application just to see.
If you think about it, though,
They asking for a credit card?
this would be the opposite of a total solar eclipse. Like, remember when eclipse season comes around and everybody gets all crazy and they travel to where the point of totality is that what they call it?
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Where the space, the path where it's going to be completely dark for a couple minutes, and that's what you get. You get in the middle of the day, complete darkness, and what they're trying to sell you, be it snake oil or not, is the opposite of that experience.
Yes. And all I can think about is how I would use it to mess with people.
Yeah.
Like if I started giving Courtney secret notes, I just printed them out and left them around, and it said, "Do not show this to Sean. This is coming from God on this date.
Sean from the future.
At this time, I want you at this exact time to walk out. Don't tell Sean, walk out into the front lawn of your house and you'll see something magical happen." And at the exact time Courtney walks out, I'm hidden in the bushes and I get some music playing whom whum, some emotional rise up of music.
Yeah.
And the light hits on her from above. You're not going to think that's divine intervention?
Oh, of course.
My mind would be blown.
But how quickly does someone take that technology and they're like, how much more for a penis silhouette?
I would try that
Bat
too.
signal style.
You're going to be the first one to do it.
Who, me?
Somebody's got to do it. Well, somebody has to be the first one to do all of these things. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. Big Al is chiming in on this. There's other people too. Here's Dr. Ravioli talking about some uses for this. Hello?
Solar thing, and I had an interesting application that you guys hadn't mentioned or they may have not have thought of. So if this actually was possible, this could also have military applications. Obviously, if you're attacking at night and you have night vision capabilities, you have a really large upper hand. And a lot of the times, people that we could be engaged in may not have those capabilities. So if this was a thing, this would be really good for other people defending to light up, the battlefield, and you could see where the attacks are coming from. Probably be a lot more expensive than the current kind of flares and things that we have, but there could be some interesting applications for that besides just powering solar panels or getting a spotlight on you for a night wedding.
Yeah, every invention you think, could this be used for war? This is a yes. This is a solid yes on that. We got more people with ideas and telling us what they think of this new company, or if it's real or if it's a fake thing. Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now. We got Jury Duty on the way, and a story in Jury Duty is going to rock your world. But before we get to that, a new movie just dropped that people are calling the perfect successor to Superbad. The new Superbad for 2024.
Netflix?
I'm not telling you. You lock into what you're thinking it is, and we'll see if it lines up with what we have right here. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Try
one more time.
I was wrong, Angel. We can auction off one more thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
A promo.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
All lanes are blocked at the moment on I-95 southbound between State Road 100 and Old Dixie Highway, mile marker 278. The off-ramp from I-95 southbound to State Road 421, that is partially blocked due to an accident. There's slowdowns on County Road 33 northbound between County Road 470 and US 27, and authorities are still working on that accident on I-4 eastbound near Parr Street there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by DellAir.com. Feel the Dell Air difference. Let Dell Air help you declare energy independence with a new AC system for up to 50% savings on energy bills. Call or visit DellAir.com to book your free estimate and start saving with summer rebates, specials, and interest-free financing.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Presented by Capital One. And $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Own the moment with the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. Wear timeless styles with technology that lets you listen to music, capture pictures and videos, live stream, make a hands-free call or text, and even ask Meta AI questions on the go. All while you stay present in the moment.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own, you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Enjoying the News Junkie? You've probably heard a ton of injury attorney commercials. But if you are injured and need a lawyer, who's the right lawyer for you? That's why we offer our 30-day risk-free trial. If you are not 100% satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? justcallmo.com. Go to justcallmo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Between the lines, far beyond legal and ethical limits, and under the surface.
Too dangerous or disruptive to the existing status quo.
Hosts Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know.
We've officially entered the age of biohacking.
History is riddled with unexplained events. Is somebody messing with us? Now it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
Through Labor Day Monday, get closeout pricing on new Nissans at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
Radio.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had. This is
See if you like it. Watch the show over on YouTube. It's youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. The links are always up at thenewsjunkie.com. But give it a shot. There's so many people that have gone over to the streaming side. Our audience has been growing and growing and growing on the streaming side, especially over the last couple of weeks, in fact. And I've heard from a lot of you who, once you start watching the show this way, you're like, I can't even go back. I enjoy it so much. Other than the person who emailed me yesterday and said that they listened to the show on 1.5 speed and listening to us live made us sound incredibly drunk and they could not do it. And I thought to myself, I don't know of any show that talks faster and keeps things moving faster than we do.
But
so
now
on
we sound
1.5,
drunk?
I must sound like beyond Ben Shapiro if I'm on 1.5.
You can get used to anything.
You can. It's true. Yeah.
And when you're used
that's
to
the way
anything,
to
the
do
things
it.
that you're used to, you can actually just, it'll blow your mind when you do it slower.
That's true.
I
that
bet
was
he didn't understand that.
really, that went by too fast.
I couldn't do it.
I'm going to get to this story about that they say is the perfect successor to Superbad, a new movie that has come out. Superbad, obviously the cult classic. But again, yeah, check it out. Go watch the show, youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit subscribe over there. It's totally free. It's a full-on production every single day in 1080p, perfect. You're watching on TV or your phone. It's great off both of those. And if you forget where it is, always just go to thenewsjunkie.com for everything. And when we're live, it's like right on top. You see live flashing on a banner over there. So please do check it out and subscribe. It is free for you to do. And every single person who's watching right now, if you're not subscribed, shame on you. It takes a second. Just go hit subscribe over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie.
Share the show Tuesday.
Yeah, it's the least you could do, please. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Christine emails. She says, we just stole a News Junkie magnet off a truck. It was his last of 3. The second one he lost was in a McDonald's drive-thru. Actually, I created a diversion while our daughter snuck out the passenger side over our 7-year-old's car seat in the rider line. She got close to the ground to grab it off the back of his truck while I talked to him, so she distracted him so the kid could steal the magnet. The dude was totally cool with it, though. She said it was an epic heist. By the way, my husband is an avid fan of your station. Well, thank you, Christine.
I had a very interesting magnet experience. I had put one of the cloud magnets on my car. I walked out, and it was replaced by another magnet. And then within hours, that was taken away. And then the one magnet that has been just stayed on my car for the longest time turned upside down.
Okay, just to let you know they were there?
Yeah.
It's like a ghost.
All right, cool.
All right. Yeah, it's a game of magnets. It's been going on for a long, long time. We're well over 50,000 magnets in the wild. You can see all the designs over on thenewsjunkie.com. There's a new one coming with a merch drop very, very soon, which I think people are going to like. So keep your eyes and ears open and ready for that one. Chris emails the show. He says, I hope this is not the end. One day, several years ago, I turned on my talk show that I've been listening to for 25 plus years. Changed names the last couple of years after some retirements, but still had a following. That's right, the Love Doctors, he says. They were gone and your show was on. I immediately thought it was great, but I've wondered what happened to Dano and Nutter. Last of the Love Doctor show started back in the 80s or something, he said. Email me back and let me know what you know about Dano. Will thenewsjunkie.com still be up if you get canceled? Of course. The website will always be up. It's a good place to go each day just to see what we're up to.
I feel like somebody reached out to us within the last couple months, either via email or dispatch, and kind of updated with what Dano was up to.
Yeah, he's working on a podcast, according to that emailer. He's doing a podcast that he puts out, which they said was really great, that they were enjoying. I know he is always wrapped up in all kinds of stuff. Super talented, super nice guy.
He was always very nice to us.
Yeah, and Nutter as well. You know, this is how radio works. We weren't trying to push anybody out. It's just these kind of things happen. Radio is brutal right now. What a brutal time to be in radio. We're over here probably, well, not even probably, the top-rated show in the state of Florida. And now we're beyond that, spread with affiliates like we have in New York and Rochester and elsewhere. But we are a big show that is, fortunately, because of you, has been able to do very well. And for us, it's kind of dicey. We're like, what's going on in this industry right now? All the money's going over to these podcaster people. We'll take a chunk of that if you don't mind. Good God. All right, there we go. That's the answers to that. Now to the show. And Sabrina tried to guess it right before the break. We hit the brakes on that. And now I ask you this question. They said it's an R-rated movie that is supposedly the perfect successor to Superbad, which we haven't had a movie like that since, when it came out in 2007 or so.
Wow. Was it really 2007?
2007.
I thought it was earlier.
This says it's a near impossible feat to replace that kind of film, with the 2007 comedy not being only a classic of the genre, but managing to perfectly encapsulate a young person's experience from the late 2000s. The issue is they're not making a lot of comedies anymore. They're not making these movies. They make some that go straight to streaming, but they're not making as many funny movies for the theaters. And this one is supposed to be in that vein. And what was your guess? You said you thought you might know what this was.
So watched a movie last night that popped up as soon as we opened Netflix, and it was called Incoming.
All right.
And it was, I'm pretty sure, I feel actually so confident that this is the movie you're talking about, because I got the vibe, or I could see where people are saying it's the generation Superbad.
Did it feel like Superbad? It kind of had those same vibes?
I mean, in the sense of like it's a high school party and what the kids are going to get into, coming of age story, blah, blah, blah.
Well, where would we have put Superbad before and after? Like, would American Pie be on that level?
I think
Euro Trip.
Yeah, I think American Pie certainly was one of those kind of movies where for a generation that was their go-to. And then Superbad, now they're saying this is going to be the one for younger folks now. What did you think of this Incoming? Because yes, indeed, you're right. That is the movie that a lot of people are talking about right now, because you don't get these movies all that often. Did you like it?
So I liked it. I did like it. And we had some, my girlfriend and I watched it. It was just like we saw the trailer for a second. We're like, okay, we'll put it on. Something funny. Because we also had watched The Rental right before.
Yeah.
And The Rental is a horror flick that it is disturbing. It really threw us off. So let's go light.
A film by Dave Franco.
Yeah.
The Rental, okay.
The incoming was very funny. It certainly took what you would have taken in Superbad as like, whoa, that was graphic, and said, we're gonna take that and just triple down on it. Like there was a poop scene.
It's always a poop scene.
And the poop scene was a lot. And it was so much that we were like, okay, all right, we got it. That's enough. And I don't know if that shows my age or it's just like it was too much. It was cute. It was funny. It had its moments. Good message, I guess, at the end where everyone can be friends or whatever. The ending, I did not care for at all.
Did you have any moments in this movie where you actually laughed out loud?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Without a doubt, yes.
That's good. There's so many movies now where you see them, there's a little like this or that. But I love those movies where, every single time I watch Miss Doubtfire, there are probably 5 scenes. Yeah, that scene murders me every time I see it. When Robin Williams drops the mask and he puts the whipped cream on his face and like guffawing, laughing out loud. Great moment in comedy.
And some of the whipped cream clumps into the tea. And one drop or two did.
Oh, when he is trying all the masks on when they're trying to figure out who Miss Doubtfire is, also gets me laughing. We watched Men in Black last night. It was one of my favorite childhood movies, and it still holds up for me.
Really?
Absolutely. I was like, oh my God, this is nostalgia personified, and I don't quote. I'm very bad at quoting. Everyone knows this. And I was like, I remember some of these lines.
But I think there's such a desire out there. There's like a pent-up desire for these types of movies. People just want to have a little bit of fun. They want to laugh a little bit. They want to chill out.
I mean, I certainly think it's a good one for Netflix. I don't think it would have done as well in the theaters, per se. But it was a good film.
I think it's doing pretty well over there, like you said. I think it's up in the top streaming, like maybe even number one in some marketplaces for them. So we'll see where that goes from here, and if more people start talking about it, now that we've talked about it. When we come back, jury duty and this story, that I have.
Incoming?
Yeah, brace yourselves, friends. And not only did this guy do a thing that'll lead to him being in jail, I'm thinking, for the rest of his life. But after he did it, he broke out in song. After he committed this crime, he broke out in song. And for once, I'm so happy to say to you, Sabrina and C-Lane, I know the song.
Wow.
I know the song. Guy. So it's not just like he broke out in the song and we don't know.
You know which song it is, or you are familiar closely with the song?
No, I know which song it is, so we don't have to just go, oh, generically, they said he started singing after this crime occurred.
I committed a crime, and then the crime is done.
Hey, that's my bet. Come on, man.
We'll see what it was and what went down. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This is Real Radio 104.1 on your phone with the iHeartRadio app and on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. We are an iHeartRadio station.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
5 of the last 7 Heisman winners are former transfers, and that makes ignoring big-name quarterback transfers difficult. Former Washington State quarterback Cam Ward now on a loaded Miami roster. Dillon Gabriel, the current betting favorite to win the Heisman, is at Oregon. And former Duke quarterback Riley Leonard is now at Notre Dame with a favorable schedule. We should be talking about some of these big-name transfers making a trip to New York at season's end. I'm Dan Patrick.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Experience life now at Orlando Science Center. Life is an all-new exhibit featuring animals and immersive galleries. Meet a sleepy sloth, playful monkey, a baby shark, a curious owl, and more. Learn about issues impacting their habitats and how you can make a difference. Get tickets and more at osc.org.
Orlando City is back at home at Inter&Co Stadium this weekend for Military Appreciation Night as your Lions take on Nashville on Saturday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m., presented by Circle K. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. Don't forget to tune in an hour before the match at 6:30 to catch Kickoff Minus 60 airing exclusively on the Lion Nation app.
Let International Diamond Center put some sizzle in your relationship this summer with free financing, free dinner, and a free romantic getaway. Now through August 31st at IDC, with any qualifying jewelry purchase, you'll get 0 interest financing for 24 months, plus a gift card for dinner valued at $150, plus a 3-night getaway to places like Nashville, Las Vegas, Miami, Hilton Head, or how about a Caribbean cruise? On us. Get to IDC now for all the details, and check out our special pricing on all fashion jewelry, all wedding bands, engagement rings, and luxury timepieces. See why IDC is the area's premier jeweler, locally owned, internationally connected, with no-nonsense pricing games, no pressure, no commission salespeople, and service for life on any purchase. How about a Tacori ring, or a 5-carat tennis bracelet, or a pre-owned Rolex? Spice things up with IDC's Summer of Romance offer. Free financing, free dinner for 2, and a free romantic getaway. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando area locations. Minimum purchase required on approved credit. See store for details.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. iHeartRadio, let's go! Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Shop Labor Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
In this, wow. So this is the story I was teasing before the break, and it'll be in Jury Duty. And a guy did something horrific, and then when the cops were finally arresting this guy, he started singing a song. And I always, whenever they do that, they usually leave the story general, and they go, "The man broke out in song," and you go, "Well, what song?" And so I was excited in the middle of this terrible story that at least we would get to find out what song the guy was singing.
Got the song wrong, didn't you?
No, I didn't get the song wrong. I didn't realize until I did a little investigating that there's body cam footage of this. And we can hear him sing the song, but it makes me really uncomfortable. Really. Oh, wait till you hear the details on this. As a matter of fact, we should probably just bust right into it so we have enough time to go over what's happening in this story. So here we go. Let's do Jury Duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on Jury Duty with the News Junkie.
Jury Duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, if it's you or one of your friends or one of your family members, it's time to speak up and say, hey, I know the perfect person you should reach out to. They're going to make sure that you're heard and that somebody's actively fighting for you. I know so many people who have hired attorneys and have been in nightmare scenarios afterwards. None of those people were people who went to the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. This is how you should do things and how you should suggest everybody else in your family should do things after an accident too. 866-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com.
Yeah, and Mo Comedy Jam coming up soon. MoComedyJam.com.
That's right. What's the date on that? Just for the record?
September 5th over at the Funny Bone.
Oh, that is soon.
And it is going towards a great charity. Going to be with great comedians. And me.
Wait, when are you going to Italy?
I go to Italy the next day, Sean.
Oh, man. So you're doing a show? And
yeah, but I think it's a good way to say peace out to the U.S.
Yeah.
On a high note, I'm excited.
For the record, you're coming back. And
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Safe trip and all that stuff.
I noted, I believe last time we talked about Italy, there was a woman who had done something with a statue, a picture, and she was arrested.
Yes.
Couldn't, so I'm going to just not do that, and I'll be back a week later.
Stay away from that. They don't like that. They don't want you messing with the statues. All right, let's brace ourselves and head into the story. You guys ready?
You were so excited before. Now I'm thrown.
Whew. All right, a 41-year-old man. He must have been either on drugs or in the middle of a massive breakdown, because the first thing he's accused of is his parents, capacitated his parents.
Oh,
heads
wow.
right off. Yeah. His parents, they found like that. And then he was running around a neighborhood trying to attack a whole bunch of people. Here's some of the details. Joseph Brandon Gerdvil, Gerdvil is his last name, was arrested on suspicion of killing his parents, 77-year-old Ronald Walter Gerdvil and 79-year-old Antoinette Gerdvil, in their San Juan Capistrano home. This is in California. In body camera video of the incident released Friday, a blood-soaked Gerdvil is shown with a metal object in his hands. It turned out that the metal object was a water meter. He had like ripped off a water meter somewhere. He had this water meter in his hand. He was approaching the
Like
sheriff's
that
deputy.
handle or something?
It's like a big thing with it has some gauges on it, and it was but you couldn't really tell what it was from afar. He was beelining for this sheriff's officer who was warning him, and then the sheriff's officer just unloads. Craziest thing, you guys. I'm just gonna send it to both of you because I don't know if you want to watch it or not, but you can see him. Oh, I can't send it like this, son of a bitch. This is why I switched over to the other computer.
Is there this website or something?
Look for this on YouTube, okay? Suspect sings after being shot by cops. All right? You'll probably land on the same video that I'm looking at here. But this guy, the first couple shots that he takes, he's like a superhero muscling right through him.
Inside Editions?
Yeah, that one. He just keeps walking forward as he's taking these shots that are hitting him right in the center mass. And then finally he falls over. And they said right before this, he had been chasing around somebody with
phased.
No. For the first couple, he was just walking right through the shots as he was taking them on. He had just been chasing around somebody with a fork in a neighborhood, completely soaked in blood. Other people said he threw a shovel at them, drove off in a golf cart.
Also, decapitated the dog.
Yeah. And even worse, imagine this. I feel this sucks. His cousin started getting text messages from him, and he's like sending photos to the cousin.
Oh God!
What he's doing while he's doing it. So that's why I feel a little dark about this.
Yeah.
And this is after he took a couple of shots, and he's on the ground
and silent. As other deputies arrived to render first aid, the suspect started singing.
We got another one by the groin.
Whoa.
That is
How is
creepy.
he still able to sing?
I have no idea.
He got 6 rounds to his chest.
Yeah, but not to the throat.
Yeah. And he's singing What's Love Got to Do With It.
Oh, my God.
On the
man.
ground singing What's Love Got to Do With It.
Deputies arrived to render first aid. The suspect started singing.
We got another one by the groin.
That you see how that's freaky, man.
Cool. I have a nightmare about that.
Whew, not a big fan of that.
Did he survive?
He did. He survived. This is why you don't do drugs. Because this guy had to be out of his mind, hopped up on something here.
Wow, man.
He is singing on the ground. He's saying, I love you. I'm sorry you're going to have to die. Yada, 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 yada. Yeah. Then he started singing Stevie Wonder's I Just Called to Say I Love You. Booked on 2 suspicions of homicide, and they're looking into what happened in this case. Just crazy. There it is. All right. We
Arnott wanted to know if he sang Bon Jovi at all.
No. I know how tempting that would be, given the relevance to his current situation, but no, he didn't sing any Bon Jovi songs. Not a shot to the heart was heard that day, unfortunately. I still got to get to this first day of school thing. We brought that up and I teased it, and I've got it right here, but it hasn't been a good time to work it in until right now. So we will do that. And Mark Zuckerberg is sorry. I have his apology in front of me. What's he sorry for? And was he in a position where he should have done what he's apologizing for? We'll dice that up next. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play here. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Travel with caution. The roadways might be wet out there, and there's some residual traffic due to an accident. Cleared up now on I-95 southbound between State Road 100 and Old Dixie Highway, mile marker 278 there. The off-ramp from I-95 southbound to State Road 421, that is partially blocked due to an accident, and authorities have moved an accident off to the side now on I-4 eastbound at Parr Street. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Listen for the keywords right here on Real Radio each weekday at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. This contest presented locally by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Today in entertainment, we're shining the spotlight on a new movie that has the power to save lives. City of Dreams. From the executive producers of Sound of Freedom, City of Dreams is an inspiring thriller about a boy who finds the courage to fight back after being smuggled into the United States and tricked into working in a sweatshop. Celebrities and leaders like Tony Robbins, Luis Fonsi, Vivek Ramaswamy, Yalitza Aparicio, and Enrique Santos were so moved by this story of hope and resilience that they've joined forces to get the word out about this must-see film and to raise awareness of child trafficking. Critics have given the film a perfect 100% rating and call it powerful and eye-opening, Oscar-worthy, and a rallying cry for justice. Before opening in theaters on August 30th, City of Dreams is hosting the biggest premiere in history on August 28th. Visit cityofdreamsmovie.com to watch the trailer and register to redeem your complimentary tickets for you to attend this historic event. City of Dreams, in theaters August 30th.
Another insurance story from
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny Final Expense Insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives Florida weather, and that's why our windows and doors are designed to take on severe hurricanes and the most intense heat. They're built and installed by us, meaning better value and a lifetime guarantee for you. Give your family security that lasts a lifetime. Get New South proud.
When you buy more, you can save more. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
This is the sound of real people across Florida betting on sports. It's the sound of winning your bet, only on Hard Rock Bet. And if your first bet doesn't win, you get up to $100 back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is Florida's only legal sports book. Your home for betting hoops for any sport you choose. Download Hard Rock Bet now and get 2 shots at your first bet. Win, or you'll get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounitus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This
of sorts here. I got a couple of things that I teased earlier that I need to pay off. And one thing I wanted to dangle out there for some dispatches in the last hour of the show.
Because your penis.
Just to see, no, I'm not going to do that. We're not that desperate yet. It would spike the viewers for a minute and then right back down. But I wanted to throw this out there to dispatchers in the final hour of the show. And I also want to throw it over to you two, Sabrina and C-Lane. There's a woman who is a news presenter in England. And who she is doesn't matter because you're not going to know her. But she's getting a lot of heat today in the British press because she told a story about her son. And she said that her son was 15 and that this summer, one of the things that he did was he went with his friends on a trip through Europe. And they went to a whole bunch of places and, stayed in cheap hotels and hostels and just had fun exploring Europe for a week or so.
Okay.
And everybody in England, and I don't know if this is like an English thing, got mad at this woman. And they said, that is incredibly irresponsible parenting. You can't let your kid go on a trip at 15 years old with just their friends.
I thought it was all, they're all close together or something.
They are fairly close together when you talk about, England and France and, all the European countries. You could get pretty quickly from one to another. You can go on a little trip like this.
Bless you.
My bad. Pardon.
Speaking of underpants.
Thank you, C-Lane. The little WD-40 on the microphones.
Oh, yeah, and apparently some extra insulation. I have been having my, certain moments, much like this last commercial break, where I like to do some yelling, whether it's clearing my throat or getting frustration out. C-Lane was talking to Jack right outside the window, and then he turns around. I'm like, you heard that? And then I go, Jack, you've been hearing me yell this whole time? And he goes, yeah.
He's got a little counter in front of him. He's like, oh, there it goes again. There we go again.
What is the point of two paned windows? Goes right through.
That door's so heavy, you would have thought it blocked everything out, but I guess not. When do you think your parents would have been fine with you going on a vacation with just your friends? 15 years old is pretty young.
15 is young. Oh, there he is. Yeah, we were just testing out the non-soundproof windows we got here.
We got to get a little bit more money investment in that studio.
I'll take the salary increase.
So let's talk about this. What is the correct age there? Do you think if that happened in America, people would react that way and go, oh, my God, that's irresponsible parenting. You let your kid go on a vacation at 15? Because I think I went on a vacation at
distance equivalent? So I lived in Miami and we went to Fort Myers.
That's not as far.
It was an hour and a half away from where I lived because my best friend's parents had a condo there. They had like 2 rental places. They technically went with us, but we got to stay in the other apartment and do whatever we wanted.
So you were kind of by yourself, but like they could argue that there was some parental supervision. I'm saying full on by yourself. 15 is indeed young, but I don't feel like you would flip out at a parent for doing that.
Where
you
did
would
they
call
stay,
Child
though?
Protective
Can
Services.
you get you can rent a hotel?
Hostels, I think, will take you in if you're a teenager traveling.
Wow.
I think they must. Yeah, because they said that this is what happened in this woman. Everybody said, that's bad parenting. How could you do that? You can't let a 15-year-old travel like that. I think people are a little too tight about this stuff. Like, traveling is good, number one, for people to learn about things and learn about other human beings outside of your inner circle and how people live.
The mistakes I'd make at 15.
Yeah, it depends, though. Like, if you're over there, I'm not sure that you could go out and get rip-roaring drunk in all of these countries to get you into more trouble.
That even a night out where I'm like, I'm sleeping over at Kelsey's house. But we went to the club with the fake IDs.
Oh, see, look, in this case, let's just say they were just teenagers going on vacation together. They weren't even, doing anything bad. If we give them the benefit of the doubt on that, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And I would have thought in Europe, like Mariano's saying, strange as in Europe, you do that at that age. Heck, you can even smoke and drink wine at that age over there. I would have thought they were further progressed on that. And I'm much more the person who wants to let younger people explore around and figure out who they are. I don't want them, voting too young, but I want them to figure out who they are and what the world's all about. And the only way to do that is to look around, get out there, see things, vacation, check things out.
I think at that age, I would have had to have provided some point of contact of an adult who would be there, a responsible adult that that would be part of the trip.
Even though now everybody has cell phones, like these kids have cell phones, their parents could instantly ring them up. Hey, you okay? You good? Text me tonight. Make sure you're okay.
Hey, it might be different. It might be different if I was 15, 16 now, and that was the case, and maybe my parents would want to track me or something.
I think I would have less trust in the adults they would run into versus the trust I have in my child at the time.
Right. What would you think if you flipped it around to 15-year-old you? From your perspective, do you think at that age you were ready to go on some sort of trip without adults?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
But I was also like...
Not me.
I can't imagine so. Respectfully, but like I was very independent, early aged, and my parents can attest to that. I also was spending summers away and was the adult at a camp.
Yeah.
From 16 to 22, where I was amongst people my age. And granted, like the person in charge of me was my age now. So I could see myself doing it now. It also depends on the person, like on the
right. Some kids
itself.
are not built for it, and you go, "This would be a disaster if this kid gets off on their own."
And I forget how old I was when I first flew by myself, but that was still like my mom dropping me off at one airport and my dad picking me up at the last airport, and then a connection, in Cincinnati where I was alone, but still like. Called as soon as I landed and that kind of stuff. It wasn't really like, and it was to go to a family wedding. So then I was just surrounded by
You had to be the representative for the whole family, huh?
What do you mean?
Like they just sent you to the wedding?
No, he was going to fly up there with one of them.
Gotcha.
No, I flew up there to miss less school because my dad was driving because my grandparents wouldn't fly, so he had to drive down to Miami, pick them up, and then drive to South Bend, Indiana, which sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
No
Samantha on YouTube says, I'm 32, and my mother still thinks moving to Florida was unacceptable because I shouldn't be so far away from her and the family.
All right. How many siblings do you have?
Yeah, this is like family specific because some families are like, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here. Tight-knit family kind of thing.
But this is 15 years old, and then just another year or two after that, like 17, 18, you graduate high school. And one of my really good friends, when he graduated high school, his dad bought him a Euro pass, like the unlimited pass, so that he could go backpacking around Europe. And that was his trip. And he had the time of his life and had a lot of great experiences because of that.
That's how you learn so much. Frogging Molly on Twitch says, I took myself to Spain alone when I was 21 to visit a friend studying abroad for 2 weeks, and I'm so glad I did it. Those are the times when you figure things out. I teased this earlier. Over to this guy, Ray, on Twitter. This has gone mega viral with 10 million with an M views.
Facebook,
and
Instagram, Twitter.
It's on Twitter/X. And he says, I interviewed my daughter every single day on the first day of school. And then this is the last time that he did it, the final interview with the daughter as she was done with her schooling. He's pieced it together. Let's see what we got.
Okay, here we go. For the record, can you say your name and spell it?
Elizabeth Petlin, ELIZABETHPETELIN.
That's her when she's a kid.
How
cute. A doctor. A teacher. Maybe a teacher, a doctor, or a magician.
A million things.
A what?
Waitress.
A million things, she said.
A waitress.
A waitress. It shows all
Do
the
I have
little
some
things
good
you go
news for
through. It shows all the things you go through in your childhood. We're like, I want to be this. No, now I want to be this.
I want to make a smoothie place. A baker. Maybe a teacher. Open heart surgeon.
Oh.
Open heart surgeon. Physical therapist. Physical therapist.
Physical
Man,
therapist.
you could tell what age she became kind of a dick because there's a bunch where she was looking right at the camera going like, I want to be a magician. And then for a while, she was rolling her eyes at every question.
Yep, that age. Jackson's going to hit that age, buddy. That
There's also a
13.
moment realistic where, you know, it's like open heart surgery takes a lot more school. So physical therapy sounds decent.
She's moving around,
Still
though, over the
helpful to
years.
the people.
That's kind of cool. Let's see what else.
Physical therapist or nurse.
You just see her growing up through the years. This is on
Here, I
See
love
It
you.
Now.
I love you. Mommy and Daddy love you. Well, I want you to know we love you, but Mommy and Daddy love you very much, and we hope you have an awesome year. I just want you to know that we love you. All right, well, Mommy and Daddy love you very much. Well, I love you, and your mom and I love you very much. We love you very much, and your mom and I love you very, very much. Your mom and I are...
This is like the over it age right here.
There was a couple moments preteen that I saw it as well. I would be.
It's like, all right,
Gotta go. All right.
Got your viral
Sweet
video. That's all these years in the making.
very, very proud of you and love you very much.
You're going to cry.
No.
Pussy.
I love you.
Love you too.
Oh.
School bus here now.
Oh, look
Can we
at
go to the
that.
school bus now?
Yeah, she recreated when she was a kindergarten student and then a
cute.
senior over all those years. And I've
Man,
seen
if
some
you were
some
driving by, and you saw that senior-aged girl just laying in the sidewalk next to the word senior, wouldn't you feel so bad for her? Like, oh gosh, I know I had it bad taking the pictures by the pool, but you, oh.
And her dad's like, trust me,
Sweet.
this is going to be big. And guess what? Now, because she put up with that for all those years, she's in a viral video. She's in a video that's got 10 million views
How
on
much
this
money
damn
you
thing.
get for that? How much does that
Probably
go towards
nothing.
college?
It's Twitter. It's Twitter. You get nothing on this thing. Probably a couple of dollars or something they throw, a couple of shekels in your direction. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk about Mark Zuckerberg's apology. I've got that over to the side here and some of your dispatches that we're going to get to. But I almost thought for a moment, I said, wow, I might have to backtrack on something I said on the show. Did I get it wrong? The headline said, shock poll shows how much Kamala Harris' convention speech swayed voters. And I said, son of a bitch. I just said that this doesn't have much of an impact on anything. Doesn't really sway people because people already are like tuned in if they're fans or not tuned in if they're supporting the other people. And these conventions don't usually do much. So I saw the shock poll. Oh, God, this must have been huge. Kamala Harris leads Donald Trump by 4 points, according to a new Morning Consult poll. They're pretty good at the polling game. And it says it's the same exact margin as before Kamala Harris's convention with the DNC. Usually there's a little bit of a boost. I don't even know if I agree with that. It's like tiny little rise that you get afterwards. But it's not for that. It's a go team event. It's a pep rally for the party. The Republicans did theirs and everybody got, I guess, excited in their world, and the Democrats did theirs. And then on you move and you go back to trying to convince the regular people over there. So I almost was surprised. I said, wow, did she actually get a bounce out of this? But no. Now we have this. Here is, let me make this a little bigger for those watching on YouTube and twitch.tv/The News Junkie. You could always watch over there. Links at thenewsjunkie.com, just in case you forget. Mark Zuckerberg is apologizing. Let me see here. This says, to the Honorable Jim Jordan, Chairman Jordan, this is from Mark Zuckerberg. I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you're aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation, made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. For further cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. He says, Zuckerberg says, in 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain pandemic content, including humor and satire. And they expressed a lot of frustration with our teams that we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision, over at Facebook, obviously, and Instagram, whether or not to take the content down, and we own our decisions, including pandemic-related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not outspoken more so about it. I also think we made some choices that the benefit of hindsight and new information we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. So they're suggesting, or at least Zuckerberg is, that he is apologizing for some of the content moderation that happened in the last several years.
And that is a different story, or that is a different picture than just the headline paints it. Because I've seen some of the people on the right side post about this, and it says Biden administration pressured Zuckerberg to censor COVID-19 content, and he regrets doing so.
Right.
But doesn't that sound like a different thing than what happened?
I mean, that's essentially what he's saying.
He said he owns the decision not to, and he regrets not being more outspoken about it.
That's not what I took away from that. Hold on, let me go back to the paragraph in the first one. He said, I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today.
Correct. Everybody did. But he says earlier, ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down, and we own our decisions. I believe the government pressure was wrong. Damn it.
He says regret that we were not more outspoken about it. So
it says they expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. They didn't agree to just do everything the Biden administration told them to do.
Yes, there's an idea amongst a lot of people on the right that during that time, the Biden administration was pressuring all these social media platforms to take down just stuff that they didn't like, stuff that they didn't agree with, even stuff that was like jokey or whatever. And
which is terrible. The jokes got us through that time. All right,
we needed the memes. The memes are necessary.
The memes.
The truth is that did happen. The Biden administration was doing that. You could argue that other administrations do similar things. I don't know. I think they were up to that, and they probably were a little heavy-handed in this, and they were using the power of the moment to say that you should listen to us. But what's more important is how organizations respond, and they should have been stiff about their response to this. Here are our content moderation policies. We're going to follow those policies no matter if there's pressure from you or not. When people tried to do the whole Twitter files thing, was that what it's called? The Twitter files, whatever that was? Twitter Gate? I don't remember. They tried to do this thing where when Elon purchased Twitter, they were going to find all the collusion that happened. And what they found actually was that in most cases, when asked by the government to take down a bunch of stuff that they thought was offensive or dangerous content, most of the time the government was rebuffed by Twitter. And they said, no, Facebook is saying maybe they went a little too far and maybe they would not do that if this happened again. They're ready to push back if something like this happens again, is what they're saying. I don't know why he's saying this now. Maybe because the congressional investigation is going on.
It's because he's been submitting all those documents and, like I said, or like he said, making people available for transcribed interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he wants to get out there ahead of any stories that might be following this. All right, let's go over to you and see what's going on in your world. Here is Justin with the Dispatch. Here we go.
Yeah, so, Sean, I get it. The kids have cell phones now. You can track them. You can this, you can that. The daughter in Taken had a cell phone. And
just rewatched that, too. What a movie.
As far as I know, not a true story, though, Taken. I think people are a little too restrictive with their kids.
Also, if that dad didn't have a particular set of skills,
yeah, then
that girl would have been very sold.
I think that there's people who are very, very overprotective of kids, and they think that they're more fragile than they actually are. This is just my take on things. I think people have a very doom and gloom version of the world. If my kid left the neighborhood, all the bad ghouls and goblins would get a hold of them and to touch him or whatever. And for the most part, I don't think that's the actual experience of kids exploring the world. I think kids exploring and learning is super good for them, and it makes them independent kids. And if you can make kids independent and independent-minded, then I think we have a better overall society. That's what I think. We want to hear from you. What do you think? That matters, you know. When we come back, we'll get down to a story about a post from the former president, and it's the latest Covfefe. Remember when he tweeted the Covfefe thing?
What a throwback.
People were analyzing that. And they're going, what does this actually mean? There's another one of those. So we'll talk about that. We'll get to a couple more of your dispatches. We got all kinds of stuff to get in before the end of the show today on a Share the Show Tuesday. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
There's slowdowns through the city on I-4 between Princeton Street and Robinson Street. Traffic is slowing down on I-4 eastbound over Lake Monroe there, and authorities have cleared up that accident on I-95 southbound. Just expect some residual delays between State Road 100 and Old Dixie Highway, mile marker 278 there, and the roadways are wet out there, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
A1 from day one.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Today in entertainment, we're shining the spotlight on a new movie that has the power to save lives, City of Dreams. From the executive producers of Sound of Freedom, City of Dreams is an inspiring thriller about a boy who finds the courage to fight back after being smuggled into the United States and tricked into working in a sweatshop. Celebrities and leaders like Tony Robbins, Luis Fonsi, Vivek Ramaswamy, Yalitza Aparicio, and Enrique Santos were so moved by this story of hope and resilience that they've joined forces to get the word out about this must-see film and to raise awareness of child trafficking. Critics have given the film a perfect 100% rating and call it powerful and eye-opening, Oscar-worthy, and a rallying cry for justice. Before opening in theaters on August 30th, City of Dreams is hosting the biggest premiere in history on August 28th. Visit cityofdreamsmovie.com to watch the trailer and register to redeem your complimentary tickets for you to attend this historic event. City of Dreams, in theaters August 30th.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Renewal by Andersen is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun, and that's saying something. Renewal by Andersen's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, which is more important than ever now that we're in the midst of the hurricane season, especially if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, everything is made in the USA. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today and be one of the first 50 callers and receive a free True Scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years.
or a man aged 50 non-smoker can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Need a break from the dog days of summer? Relief from high interest rates, high prices, and even higher temperatures? International Diamond Center is here to help with lower prices, free financing, and a free romantic getaway. It's IDC's Summer of Savings event going on now through August 31st. Special pricing across the board on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, designer fashion jewelry, colored gemstone jewelry, and incredible Swiss watches. Make any qualifying purchase now and IDC will give you 24 months zero interest financing, plus a free romantic dinner and a 3-night luxury getaway to places like Las Vegas, Miami, Nashville, or the cool Smoky Mountains. We've even got a 4-night Caribbean cruise. So instead of sizzling in the heat, put some sizzle in your relationship. Get the guaranteed best value price, free dinner, a free vacation, and free 24 months no interest financing. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando area locations. Minimum purchase required on approved credit. See store for details.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own, you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month, and no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
And PETA emails. All right. Actual PETA emails. It says, "Hi, Sean. We caught yesterday's conversation about chimp crazy and wanted to thank you for the discussion," they said. This was about this show that is on Max, I believe, and I'm ready to watch the second episode of it tonight. But it's about people who own chimpanzees, mostly people who should not own chimpanzees that do. And it's very interesting, at least the first one that we saw, and I kind of outlined what was going on there. And so we want to thank you for the discussion. We completely agree that wild animals, including chimpanzees, monkeys, and tigers, don't belong in people's homes. You and your audience might be interested to know that following the release of Tiger King, Congress passed legislation to end the private ownership of big cats, and PETA is pushing for similar legislation, the Captive Primate Safety Act, that would ban the private possession and private breeding of primates. The breeding part is really where things get important in my estimation, because there's people who are, if they're still doing that, they're still selling these animals, and it doesn't seem to be a big checklist of things you must know before you buy one. It's like, you think chimps are cute? Okay, there you go. They said we want to correct the record on a couple of points. PETA doesn't oppose humans living with companion animals, they said. In fact, we're big proponents of adoption, and they linked to some of their newer stuff, and responsible guardianship. And many of our staffers share their homes with dogs, cats, rabbits, and other animal companions. Now, where that came from is the founder of PETA and like the original tenets, as best I could tell, of PETA, were that some of the people who were more radical involved in these movements were actually for abolishing pet ownership. PETA now, or maybe even then, is saying that they're not for that, because I think even PETA knows that that's sort of unworkable. It's not an actual realistic take to say that we're against that. Now they're coming at me. We also wanted to speak up for fish. Scientists unanimously, they said, agree that fish feel pain and stress. Also, they're smart social animals who share knowledge, have cultural traditions, communicate with one another using low-frequency sounds that humans can't hear, and recognize themselves in mirrors. Some woo potential partners by singing to them or creating intricate works of art, including those incredible pufferfish, PETA says.
Have you tried singing to your fish?
I have not. But I can tell you, to PETA and Nicole, who sent this over there. Thank you, Nicole. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, those fish are so dumb, they don't know nothing. They don't know. They can't feel anything. And I've seen some of the studies on this. This is like the study on lobsters and the debate over lobsters and whether eating lobsters is wrong. This comes down to, in many cases, people who will get a lobster from the grocery store, and they'll bring the lobster home, and they put the lobster in the pot, and they believe they hear the lobster screaming for its life. And the lobster is in the pot going, screaming.
Sealand, that was really good.
Thank you. It was an excellent lobster. When, in fact, it's not a scream that's coming from the lobster. It's just noises from the cooking process. It's just the
air in their bodies being
they're
released.
Yes, it's the air between their
so it's more of a fart,
their armor, kind of.
Yeah,
and
death fart.
There's a huge debate back and forth between folks who obsess over these things about whether an animal like a lobster can feel any pain, or even if fish can feel any pain, or how complex their brains are. And
octopi, how about that though? There's something to them.
It's really hard to get down to the bottom of these things, because when you use the word fish, that's such a generic word to human beings. That encapsulates almost everything in the sea we call fish. All of these things are fish. And for the most part, I'm talking about a lot of the animals that you would have in an aquarium, and they just don't have a super high level of operation. And if PETA wants to argue that there are very basic things that they can do on a functional level, that's fine, but I don't place those above my morals in a place where I'm going to go, no, I wouldn't keep a fish in an aquarium. I think they're having a good time. PETA is free to disagree.
I follow a couple puffers on TikTok. Adorable.
Oh, as long as the people aren't doing that thing, I can't stand it when I watch the videos of the kids and they're like, let me put the net in here and get the puffer all mad.
Oh, that's sad.
And then the puffer puffs up and look how cool it is. The puffer's puffing it. No, you're torturing the animal. Feed it well, take care of it, do all these things,
Absolutely.
Be a good person.
Dude, I saw a clip of some guy who found a sea turtle, what looked to be dead, gave it mouth to mouth.
What? A sea turtle?
Yeah, and brought it back to life. Got to go back into the ocean.
No
I don't
way.
know, swear. It was like, I don't know. Maybe it was in a particular time in my life, but I was crying. I was like, God, these are some good humans to do that.
There's still good humans out there, believe it or not. There's still a handful of, there's a lot of them, in fact. Here's what I was talking about with former President Trump.
Anyways.
His new covfefe, when he tweeted out, like in a weird sentence, he tweeted out covfefe, and everybody said, what does this mean? People were dicing it up like it was some sort of secret coded language. And I think he just left a mistake on his tweet and left it out there forever. The new one is, these are great patriots, Trump posts, who work their hearts out to have a strong and powerful border, only to be harassed by border czar Kamala Harris, who wants the, and then it cuts off here. But powerfulness is just left there for us to decipher. Powerful NNZ. Obviously, this is a mistake, but people will look at it and be like, oh my God, there's a deeper meaning. He means powerful
and
no
fun.
nonsense Zionist border. And then he calls her the border czar, Kamala Harris. The fight continues, and it shall forever forth until everybody involved dies. So on that sweet note, we're going to take
don't think the election will just be the end of it.
Nah.
No way, Jose.
That doesn't end things these days. It just starts them. When we come back, we're going to do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
How do you guys sit when you relax?
I sit like a woman because I cross my legs lengthwise, knee over knee. You son of a bitch. I hate Jack Bradshaw.
I grabbed a pen.
Yeah, you grabbed a pen so you can make a time so that you can pull I sit like a woman.
Yeah.
And I just gave it to him again.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. For today, we'll top out at 92 degrees. Our winds coming in off of the Atlantic. That'll usher in a 40% chance for a couple of showers, maybe a clap of thunder this afternoon. Otherwise, a pretty typical and otherwise quiet summer day. As we head into this Labor Day weekend, we're going to see our rain chances ramping up to a likely category each afternoon. Out of the tropics, there's a tropical wave in the eastern Atlantic we're watching very carefully, but at this point, no direct threats. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Nasal Guard. People who suffer from allergies use Nasal Guard to prevent them. Nasal Guard's innovative gel and spray products protect you from all airborne allergens, no matter what the forecast holds. Visit Amazon, Walmart, or NasalGuard.com today. Breathe better this spring. NasalGuard.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. Along with that, I'm good for about 4 liters of soda a night. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago weighing 341 pounds, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad says it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hundreds of pre-owned vehicles are closeout priced, all makes and models, during the Labor Day used car closeout at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Plus, get a $500 Visa gift card with purchase through Monday. Come see us or click OrlandoNissan.com. See dealer for details.
Thinking about selling your home? Well, hold on to your packing tape. The Nickley Group can sell houses faster than you can find that one missing sock. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from the Nickley Group today. Visit thenickley.com.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
and a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Feel the Del Air difference. Let Del Air help you declare energy independence with a new AC system for up to 50% savings on energy bills. Call or visit delair.com to book your free estimate and start saving with summer rebates, specials, and interest-free financing.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Shipley Donuts, now open on South Cimarron Boulevard.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening.
And today I'm going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday, a Share the Show Tuesday indeed. Got some final things to get through here, but God almighty, it has been like, for us here, I think 4 weeks of virtually every day, there's a downpour at some point in time. Just every single day.
Just texting with my girlfriend. She's like, I am completely soaked. Went to, wait a second. I was outside.
Put some context around this.
And I was like, oh, it's so weird. I haven't been outside in a second. Let me go check. And as soon as I stepped out, I got completely soaked as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just would like to word things a proper way.
It's not even just like these little tiny storms. It's like big booming storms that keep getting whipped up and going through every single day relentlessly, man.
But then it's hot and muggy, and
I'll take the hot. I'll take the hot.
I'm ready for cold, bruh.
It's how long do we get? It's a ways for us. You got to go to Rochester for that. They'll serve it up to you on a platter up there.
I was, speaking of phrasing, I just was flipping through and I saw, and I went back to watch the full thing to get the context, because in context it makes sense, but there was an old interview with Avril Lavigne.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about she was talking about this new album. She had just dropped it that day, and the interviewer was asking her about how her ex-husband produced some of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, and he did some of this. And the interviewer goes, and this is where the clip started that I saw first. It was like, but how do you stay tight?
Oh.
As in her and her ex-husband are still tight. Like, how are you still tight? That's what it was.
Right, got it.
And she heard the other version of that in her head, and she was like tickled, laughing for a couple seconds, and the guy's like, what did I do wrong? Like, he didn't get it.
He blacked out. All right, here we go. Tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Daryl emails, and he said, Sean, I'm starting to think the only thing you know about J.D. Vance is his unfortunate remark about single cat ladies. You mentioned it like 5 times now. I have mentioned that a couple of times because I think it was a boneheaded move. And I know that was before, I believe, he was picked as the VP nom.
He's been asked about it since.
He's been asked about it a lot of times on these interviews. He keeps saying he was like misconstrued and stuff. I just think when you start taking groups of people and singling them out, it's super dumb as far as strategy goes. Here's a counter example, I guess I could say, or an example in this sense. Hillary Clinton, when she was running against Trump, said Trump supporters were like a basket of deplorables. And obviously all these people who are like, well, hang on, I am supporting Trump and I'm not a terrible person. I'm not like that. Why is this person lumping me in with, you see the response from these groupings of people. So just strategically, I think that's dumb. That's why I mentioned it. He has since made some important points against some very hostile interviewers. Tell me what Harris has said in her interviews. Oh, yeah, she hasn't done any. She's not allowed to go off script for fear that people will realize she doesn't know anything. Check out her website. 0 policy points, says Daryl. And you're right about that. She absolutely should be doing interviews. They're in a hilarious way saying, oh, she's answered some questions from the press when she answered, I think, one question from one reporter. She absolutely needs to sit down. I think they've already locked that in with somebody, but there needs to be more interviews. There needs to be much more off the cuff from Kamala Harris.
Interviews. I've seen that.
I haven't seen that. I've only seen that she had a reporter, and the reporter asked her like one question, and it was very short and to the point. And then afterwards, people were like, look, she answered a question. And to me, it seemed like when Joe Biden walked off the debate stage and Joe Biden goes, you answered every single question they asked.
Good for you, Joey.
That's right, pony boy.
And I mean, she's barely doing anything interview-wise, and Trump is getting on YouTube videos with influencers that barely know much about him. I mean, he seems to be very accessible right now. He's doing podcasts.
Yeah, he has been doing a bunch of those. It's true.
With what's his face?
Which
a very
one?
funny guy.
You're talking about the comedian who Theo Von.
Theo Von. There we go.
Yeah, I love his joke about the rat, about a ferret. It calls a ferret a limousine rat. I always like that. Stuck with me.
That's great.
Good. He's a funny guy.
He talked to the clip I saw was like just him talking to Trump about cocaine.
Yes,
I felt like a mechanic. He goes, and Trump's like, no, so it's an upper or something?
He said, is it really strong? Is it like a really strong thing?
He said, I felt like a mechanic. It has been pretty incredible how quickly he comes up with ridiculous stuff. And he's talking about Theo.
Yeah, Theo Von's whole strategy, which is so fun, is that he's going to say something that every single time you go, wait, what the hell did that guy just say? Like, it's not in any political direction. It's just strange. He's a character, man. Good for him. Maybe she was right. He's talking about Kamala Harris when she said people between 18 to 24 are stupid. I've said that too. They would have to vote for her, yet many are jumping on her garbage truck of a bandwagon. Please come up with some new digs on Vance. That one is getting old. Or maybe call out some other politicians for things they've said or done.
So
you seem to have a Jones for Vance. I don't know what that means. Like Jonesin? All right. A Jones for Vance says,
like you have a hard on for him.
Yeah, I don't. I've had
or an
many
Alex
criticisms
Jones where you want to eat him.
I've had many criticisms about Kamala Harris. I was very, very critical of the idea that they're floating around price controls, which I see they're backing away from a little bit because that was a stupid idea. I am very against the idea of taxing unrealized gains. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like if your money goes up in the stock market, even if you haven't sold it and actually realized those gains, they will make you pay taxes on money that you haven't even claimed yet because you haven't sold your stock. These are horrendous ideas. I was very critical of those.
You said stocks, and it was like...
I hope that they never happen. I hope that those things don't happen. What's happening now, though, that's kind of funny is we really, truly are in the stage where everybody's promising pizza parties. Like Trump said, when I become president, I will be incredibly good or very good for women's reproductive rights, which is funny because Trump was president for 4 years, and under his administration, Roe versus Wade, which you can make some arguments about that are deep and in the weeds, but was overturned by the Supreme Court with 3 justices, I believe, that he appointed to the Supreme Court. And so that doesn't seem to add up. And then Kamala Harris says she's out there now saying she's going to build the wall. And build the wall is very different from what she said for very many years. And I'm going, now I'm trying to tune out what the politicians are telling me they're going to do. And I'm trying to tune in what they're actually going to do.
Absolutely.
If they get elected, it's very hard to read through that.
The debate shall be fun.
That'll be interesting. I'm waiting for that. I hope they go through with it.
Stop making the day one promise. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I know.
Nobody does it. It's like the first day of school. You don't do anything when you're president day one. All you do is you take the oath and then you do a bunch of parties.
Exactly.
You don't have to do everything on day one. You have plenty of time if you're going to win, unless you get assassinated. And you know.
Okay. Knock on wood. Here we go.
I mean, there's been an attempt to assassinate him already. I'm just tossing this. Kamala Harris could be assassinated too, for all we know.
I hope it doesn't happen to anybody.
Of course, I hope it doesn't happen.
I'm not saying that you think that. I'm saying we're manifesting here.
The only limitations on somebody's term, which would be 4 years at least, would be if something horrific and horrendous happened, which, of course, nobody wants that to happen. All right, let's do the stories that didn't make the cut. Brought to you by our friends over at Cento Family Moving and Storage.
That's right. Those guys are rock stars when it comes to moving. Take the stress away from it. Don't be the guy that offers your friends beer and pizza to haul your stuff into the back of a U-Haul and bang it up around there. Cento, they'll even pack your stuff for you if you want. They are professionals, decades of experience, fully licensed and insured, and they will get you door to door with no stress. Forget the stress, move the best. CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO moving.com.
All right.
Also, AC Storage. Did you know that?
Oh, did they do that?
That's so cool.
I almost had to get them to store stuff.
5 Alarm Morning here. I just want to throw this down. They said this week there is going to be a meet and greet with Bluey in New York City.
Whoa!
And I just want to throw that out there because I think last time there was a Bluey
meeting.
It was a fake
Bluey, right?
It was a fake Bluey. Things went real sideways.
The Bluey balls?
Yeah, so we want to make sure this is official and that you don't have some bootleg-ass Bluey going on. Also, a punk singer went on a crime spree through Yosemite. This guy was the front man for Cancer Christ. That's the name of his band.
I just pulled that story for tomorrow.
Cancer Christ.
More
details.
He's
accused of kidnapping, reckless driving on a highway, vehicle theft, burglary, robbery, theft, battery, resisting arrest, and vandalism.
A partridge in a pear tree.
All of them things.
And his underwear, mind you.
Yeah, he was in his underwear when they arrested him. It was quite a time. Let's get the hell out of here. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Today I Learned this famed team.
Hey, man, who's that cat coming down the street?
The Harlem Globetrotters.
That's right, the Harlem Globetrotters. They once lost track of a game, found themselves down 12 points with just 2 minutes left. Forced to play normal basketball, they rallied, but they could not recover. When the final buzzer sounded and the Harlem Globetrotters were defeated, the crowd was dumbfounded and disappointed. Children in the stands cried after the loss.
The Washington Generals did it?
They finally did it. You knew it was inevitable.
Last time.
Today, marshmallows are a 4,000-year-old snack beginning in ancient Egypt. Originally, they were made from the sap of the mallow plant, which grows in marshes. Marshmallow. There you go. Finally, today,
That'll get me laid for sure, Sean.
This artist right here.
That is Tina Turner, baby.
Oh.
That is. Oh, my.
It is Tina Turner. It is. Yeah. I pulled the wrong song. I'm sorry. I've done this before,
Whitney
too.
Houston.
Unrelated, Whitney Houston and her production company. Her production company was called Brown House. It made The Princess Diaries and the series The Cheetah Girls, which you may have heard of on the Disney Channel. Sisters. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. Hey, missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com.